This is the Buzz Adams Morning Show podcast. Barstool Talk Daily. Except it's really early in the morning and no booze. For the most part.
What's the easiest choice you can make? Window instead of middle seat? Picking a vendor who sends a great gift basket? Outsourcing business tasks you hate? What about selling with Shopify? Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage? Shopify's there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell. Wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/try. Go to shopify.com/try now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/try.
Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a town square media station.
Hey, look at the time. It's time to rise and shine. Suggest you get your butt out of bed at once. Don't be one of those procrastinating fools, thinking you'll get to work on time. I really doubt it. Sometimes you think you'll go back to sleep and just stay underneath the sheets. Oh no, you're getting up. It's time for waking up. So get out of that bed, you lazy bones.
The following radio show is live, except for the announcement you're hearing right now.
Good morning, world. It's a brand new day. I'm very excited. It's Tuesday.
So what day is it?
Tuesday, today.
Good morning, everyone.
Wakey, wakey.
Got any
Coffee? I do not.
I do not. Don't make me get violent early in the morning. Where are you going? It's awfully early in the morning.
Woe unto them that rise up early in the morning.
This is Tuesday.
What happens on Tuesday?
Back to work.
Tuesday? Yes.
It's showtime. Broadcasting throughout West Texas. The Buzz Adams Morning Show.
Thank you so much. Good morning and welcome everybody. Oh, real nice. Thank you. It's Tuesday morning. Buzz Adams Morning Show is just underway. A lot coming up on the show today, including a true crime report. Cash codes, we'll start with those in the 8 o'clock hour. This is the final week for the KLAQ cash codes. So, a few more chances each day for you to be eligible for the $30,000. Throughout the cash code every day, Monday through Friday, we've been giving away $100 a piece to 10 different winners. So there is a lot of cash involved, but the big grand prizes at the end of the contest we're going to draw, and it could be your name that's drawn for $30,000. Listen for those cash codes when you hear them. We have plays at KLAQ.com and on the KLAQ mobile app where you can enter the cash codes. Look for the money bag icon and put the cash codes in there. Your chance at $30,000, but we're only doing it through Friday. Good morning, Joanna Barba.
Good morning, Buzz.
Joanna is going to give us a preview of what's coming up on the Hollywood Cheesemate in just about an hour. What do we have?
Well, Amazon is seeking to dismiss a class action lawsuit that was filed by Prime Video users who were upset over its addition of ads. Have you noticed if you watch a video on Prime, suddenly there's ads?
Yeah, I thought I must not have paid my Prime membership.
Exactly. That's what I thought.
And there are ads, and you're saying they're doing that to everybody?
They're doing that to everybody. So some users filed a class action lawsuit, and now Prime is saying, yeah, we never promised that it was always going to be ad-free.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope they don't throw this out. I would like to see what a judge or a jury thinks in something like that. This would be like Amazon Prime. You're supposed to get all your stuff delivered with no shipping, right? No shipping charge?
Yeah.
Well, how would that be different from them coming out and saying, you know what? All you Amazon Prime members, we're going to charge you sometimes for shipping.
Right? Then what the hell am I paying for,
no kidding.
Prime?
I think, I took some advertising classes. I think that is called the bait and switch. You sell one thing and then you switch it to something else. By the way, Amazon Prime, I don't know if I should give them any publicity after hearing that. Amazon Prime Big Deal Days are going on today and tomorrow. Now, it's not Amazon Prime Day, so how are Amazon Prime Big Deal Days different?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. It keeps giving me like ads for it, and I'm kind of like, do I want to buy this ice maker?
Yeah. Countertop ice maker on sale for $99.99.
What a deal!
Yeah, it looks kind of flimsy to me for almost $100. Is that a deal?
I have one. Yeah.
And
that was like,
what do you got to do? You plug it in, and
you plug it in. It takes a while for it to make ice, but once it does,
it doesn't even
amazing.
look like that much ice.
Yeah, it does like a few at a time, but it's still pretty good ice.
But it's not
once
enough.
It like stacks up, you're like, hell yeah.
It's not going to help you out with a party or a big family gathering or something.
This is
right?
like, I debated bringing mine in here just so that I could have ice made here the whole time.
So wait, have you already got one of these?
Yes.
And you want another one?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, it's a bunch of, it's just a bunch of stuff that you normally get on Amazon. I guess it's discounted a little bit, but yeah, I'm not going to get anything because of that whole bait and switch deal.
Now I'm upset.
Let's take a look at El Paso weather and the golfers forecast brought to you by Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course. We are clear as far as rain goes, not seeing any rain popping up in the next 7 days. And highs are going to be right around 90 or low 90s. Today's sunny. A lot of sunshine, guys, in the forecast. 90 for the high temperature, 91 tomorrow. It's going to continue like that through the week, 91, 92 maybe. So right around 90, winds are going to be light, sun's going to be out. It's not going to be, extremely hot. I give every day this week an A+ golfer grade. Golfers forecast brought to you by Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course. You can set up all your tee times and reservations online at painteddunes.com. That's painteddunes.com or call the Pro Shop, 915-821-2122 for Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course. Yesterday, I went to go see Joker 2, Falelu.
Oh.
This is the one that I said I was, really questioning whether I was going to go see it, even though I thought the first one was great and Joaquin Phoenix, won an Academy Award for it. So I ended up going to see it yesterday. Boy, a lot of bad reviews out there.
Yes, I'm amazed you still went to see it despite all of the bad reviews it was
did. I was
in.
very curious. Even if I didn't think it was going to be good, I was curious to see if it's as bad as everybody was saying.
How was it?
I'll give you my review in the 8 o'clock hour. How about that one?
Joker 2 review coming up later on the show.
Let me say this much. Mine is not with the mainstream of the reviews that I'm reading online.
Oh, okay.
A lot coming up on the show today. We're going to talk about cheat codes, not for video games, but for life. Some here's the one. Let me just pick one out of the list, okay? There's like 20 of these. Diarrhea is always a great excuse to get out of anything. Nobody wants to talk about it. And yet nobody expects you to go to the doctor for it.
That is true. And yet some people don't want to use that excuse, even when they do have diarrhea.
Because it's embarrassing or whatever.
Embarrassing. I don't care. I got diarrhea. I got to go.
This week, Thursday through Sunday, KLAQ Haunted House of Terror is going to be open at 13900 Montana Boulevard. And extended hours on Friday and Saturday goes till midnight, but on Thursday and Sunday, 7 to 10 p.m. So 7 is when they open up. 10 o'clock on Thursday and Sunday, but 7 to midnight on Friday and Saturday. You get your tickets right there at the door, $25 per person. Also look for discounts. The KLAQ Haunted House of Terror is brought to you by Western Tech, Burnout Bullies, Raisin Canes, Chicken Fingers, and War Eagles. Proudly produced and managed by Desert Warriors Paintball. We had the CEO of the Amigo Air Show on yesterday. It has been 12 years. 12 years since we had the last. Yep, it's been 12 long years since we had the last. Who is texting me at this hour?
Is it Nico telling you he's going to be not in?
Yeah, I assume so. Do you want me to go check real quick?
Yeah, check. Why? Where is your phone? Oh, it's all the way.
No, here it is. I didn't have to go as far as I thought.
I like how there's...
Oh, no, it's my friend Aunt Cliff talking about the countertop ice maker.
Hell yeah.
Hey, Chris, makes ice like you get at Sonic.
Oh,
like the little pellets of ice.
They have ice makers that do that. The one I have isn't like that, but I've definitely
They do have
seen,
that
They
kind,
do have that, yeah.
All right.
Sonic Ice is fire.
What was I saying? Oh, yeah, the Haunted Houses of Terror.
All right.
Open. We'll have more tickets headed your way. Well, we'll come back and have Today in Sound clips here in just a few minutes. That Hurricane Milton, is really, really a bad deal. And it's only like 10 or 12 or 13 days after Hurricane Helene came through. So we're going to take a look at what's going on there. There are reports, NBC is reporting that Governor Ron DeSantis is just not answering phone calls from the White House trying to coordinate relief efforts. And we have...
What?
Yeah, so NBC is reporting that Ron DeSantis is just refusing phone calls from the White House or the Biden administration. We got Kamala Harris's response to that. They got her to answer that question. And we'll have Today in Sound clips coming up here in just a couple of minutes.
The Daily Calendar. Hey, so it's October 8th, American Touch Tag Day. So tag someone and run. You're in. Hey, not me. Time out. It's the day to face your fears. I don't want to. But if your fear is salmon and octopi, you have to celebrate those today, so chill out. And it's Dyslexia Day for the common disorder that affects about 20% of the population. And that's your Daily Calendar.
95.5 KLAQ.
Hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
El Paso's own live and local. The Buzz Adams Morning Show. 95.5 KLAQ.
We have Today in Sound clips standing by and look at the news with sound bites and actualities, as they're called in the news business, or they were 35 years ago when I took classes. Nico's going to be here, but Chris Antcliffe says if you like the Sonic Ice, they have those ice makers. At Amazon for $99.
Those are a little pricey. Oh, is that the one that's going to be $99? The Nugget Ice Maker?
I can't confirm that one way or the other. Last night the Chiefs, they beat the Saints 26-13, but the Saints were hanging around there, pretty good even into the second half. After one of Travis Kelce's catches last night, they showed Taylor Swift cheering, and Troy Aikman called her. Well, listen to what Troy Aikman called Taylor Swift.
There's Kelce, makes a move, and he's out of bounds.
The missus likes it, and
they're not married. Oh, no. What is it with ex-Cowboy quarterbacks?
I'm sure I'm in trouble
married?
for saying that.
I know. You're not. It happens.
Troy Aikman called Taylor Swift the missus. That was Joe Buck jumping in to correct him. Tony Romo also had them as married in a broadcast last year. Chiefs beat the Saints 26-13. They remain perfect on the season. And speaking of Dallas Cowboys, I'm a little worried about Cowboy guy. He didn't call after the Cowboys won. I was sitting there yesterday like, I kept expecting him to call in about the Cowboys. I mean, he calls in win or lose, right?
Yeah, he does.
He didn't. Does anybody know Cowboy Guy and check in on him? This Sunday, the Dallas Cowboys return home to Arlington to take on the potential NFC champion, the 3-1 Detroit Lions. Detroit's having a great season so far. Of course, that game will be heard right here on the official radio station for Dallas Cowboys football in El Paso. Our broadcast starts with the pregame show Sunday, 1:30 p.m. is when we're going to get things started. Dallas Cowboys football on the Q is brought to you by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. Also by 915 Tours and Border City Ale House. Border City Ale House, the home of 600 ESPN's Monday Night Football watch parties with your host, Steve Kaplowitz. All right, let's go ahead and get to Today in Sound Clips.
And now, Today in Sound Clips.
And we'll start with hurricane news out of Florida. Hurricane Milton is one of the most powerful Gulf hurricanes in history. During yesterday's press briefing on Hurricane Milton, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said there is no fuel shortage in the state as evacuations continue.
State of Florida is amassing fuel reserves ahead of Milton and staging it to be utilized as needed. Those quantities include 415,000 gallons of diesel, 389,000 gallons of gasoline, and there is, as I mentioned this morning, an additional 1.5 million gallons of both diesel and gasoline that are en route to the state.
Let's hear a little more about the evacuation orders that are in effect. Kevin Guthrie, Executive Director of the Florida Division of Emergency Management, says that he is pleased with the number of people who have heeded the advice to evacuate.
I'm actually encouraged by the amount of evacuation that is going on right now, because what's happening right now, these are individuals that are either going to friends, family, or they have the necessary means to do something, and they're doing it well in advance of landfall in a very orderly fashion. They know that the traffic's going to be there. So, again, this is actually a good sign.
A couple more out of Florida. Dave Kerner, Executive Director of the Florida Highway Patrol, said they are working diligently with the Department of Transportation to keep the cleanup going.
I can tell you that we've worked very diligently with the Department of Transportation on debris removal, particularly in Pinellas County. The governor mentioned earlier a scenario where one of the dump sites wasn't open during the evening or early morning hours, and unfortunately we had to break into that facility and open it up. And I would say to local governments that we have to have your cooperation, your continued cooperation in running a 24/7 debris removal and an emergency operation here in the state of Florida in those affected areas.
NBC reported that Governor Ron DeSantis is no longer responding to calls from the Biden White House. Let's hear just a little more from DeSantis.
Now, there is currently no fuel shortage in the state of Florida. Fuel continues to arrive at Florida ports. However, there are long lines at some gas stations, and because you've had a run on gas, there have been gas stations that have run out of fuel, but they are being resupplied with the fuel.
A reporter caught up with Vice President Kamala Harris and asked her about those NBC reports.
NBC is reporting Governor DeSantis is ignoring your calls on hurricanes, resources, and help. How does that hurt the situation here?
You know, moments of crisis, if nothing else, should really be the moment that anyone who calls themselves a leader says they're going to put politics aside and put the people first. People are in desperate need of support right now, and playing political games with this moment in these crisis situations, these are the height of emergency situations, is just utterly irresponsible, and it is selfish, and it is about political gamesmanship instead of doing the job that you took an oath to do, which is to put the people first.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, now coming onto the field, Nico and Jimmy.
You're late to work. Who gets a you boss, I'm late.
I like this song. Late.
I'm late. What you gonna be doing about it? I said I'm late.
How long is
Fire
it?
me, there's no one else here, bitch.
I just like to get to that line about, you're going to fire me? There's no one else here.
Hey, I'm worried about Cowboys guy.
Yeah, I echo that concern.
I was just thinking about it. Like, what if it's like somebody, like we have listeners that listen in all the time, and what if it's just like a nice
nobody's
man
been to check on him
that,
in a while.
that hasn't gotten checked on, or like,
dude,
had a health
Cowboys
problem?
guy, we miss.
Call us. Let us know.
How does his phone? I mean, it's kind of like going a morning without your coffee, especially when the Cowboys win.
Yeah, we're concerned.
And you go, I went to go see the Joker.
You actually went to go see it?
Yeah, I had a couple hours, and I was curious to see if it was as bad. Let me just tell you, and I'll give you a full breakdown in the 8 o'clock hour.
Better than people are making it sound?
My opinion diverges from the mainstream take on Joker 2 for les deux.
Well, the mainstream take is that it sucks. Yesterday, maybe it was Cousin Ian or somebody in the app chat or the Neckline said that they think that they liked Joker 2 and they think that it was more of an indie movie made on a big budget.
Oh, that's an interesting take. They said that in the chat?
Yeah, I can't remember where.
Well, I think you're going to be surprised by my take on Joker 2.
All right.
All right. Moving ahead. In Chicago, the mayor, Brandon Johnson, named members of the new school board. All 7 members resigned from the school board amid an escalating fight over control of the public schools in Chicago, America's third largest city. During a press conference, Johnson introduced 6 new school board members and said he would name a 7th at a later date. He said that although the new members are technically nominees who are still being vetted, it's a formality, and they could remain after the board triples in size in January. It goes to a hybrid model that's going to include 11 mayoral appointees and 10 elected members. So I guess the mayor's always going to have the majority in that case. Let's go ahead and listen in. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson responded to a question about endorsements for the new school board members he's appointing in yesterday's conference.
I just wanted to clarify: are these candidates endorsed by the CTU?
You have to ask those individuals. I have not endorsed any of these individuals up here in terms of their sort of political aspirations. What's being carried out right now is my authority as mayor of the city of Chicago. If you want to know this, I am fulfilling the executive responsibility that is given to me by the state law.
Responding to a reporter, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson said if you want to find out who the CTU is endorsing, you need to ask the CTU.
If you want to find out who CTU is endorsing, go ask the CTU. I'm not the CTU. I'm the mayor of the greatest freaking city in the world, the city of Chicago. Do you have a follow-up?
The Windy City, the city with big shoulders, a city where a man can dance with his wife, Chicago.
Do you have a follow-up?
Then a reporter who called for a show of hands among the new members got blocked. Mayor Johnson wouldn't let the reporter continue with that line of questioning.
I'm wondering if any of the board members can answer this question. Actually, if all of you can, just maybe even just a show of your hands. How many of you support teking out a
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
For a teacher's contract.
If you have a question for the mayor of Chicago, you can ask me a question. What you are not going to do is litigate what the board has the authority to do once they're appointed.
I don't know. It sounds,
yeah, I don't even know what they're talking about.
Yeah. I guess it's just comforting to know that El Paso is not the only place where city politics get out of hand like that. A sheriff in Washington State was T-boned by a suspected drunk driver. You know what T-bone means? They just hit, hit the side of it. Yeah, of course. This was the second time this happened to this sheriff in 18 months.
No.
Yeah, he got hit by a drunk driver, T-boned within the last 18 months. Here's Sheriff Derek Sanders talking about his most recent crash.
Saw a vehicle approaching and all of a sudden it veered kind of almost into the oncoming lane. I don't think she even knew that she hit a car. She was pretty intoxicated when I walked by her after they captured her. So I'm not sure she knew what state she was in. I look over and see the cars taking off down Hensley Street. I'm just like, can't make it up. I don't want to make it seem like I'm a special victim because our deputies were just clearing up from a really bad DUI crash with injuries out in Yelm when they were coming to me. So it's just happening every night.
Back to the hurricane in Florida, and especially reports that Governor Ron DeSantis isn't taking calls from the Biden administration. Apparently, in a presser yesterday with Karine Jean-Pierre, they said communication is not cut off, and he has been talking to FEMA officials. That was during yesterday's White House briefing. Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre was asked about reports that DeSantis has refused to take calls on Hurricane Milton from Vice President Kamala Harris. She wouldn't directly confirm those accounts, but here is White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre.
We're going to continue to talk to local and state officials. That is important as well. We're going to pre-position as this Hurricane Milton is coming towards, as it seems, towards Florida. Category 5, that's nothing to joke about. That is very, very serious.
All right. And yesterday on a radio show, Donald Trump said that the reason people from some countries, immigrants from some countries, are murderers is that it's genetic. He said that it all comes down to the genes. And here is that call from the Hugh Hewitt Show.
Now a murderer, I believe this, it's in their genes. And we got a lot of bad genes in our country right now.
So he has definitely dabbled in this eugenics stuff.
Some
before.
Nazi stuff right there.
Yeah, there was a rally where he talked about, it all comes down to good genes, like a racehorse. If you have good genes. But for anybody out there who's like, well, what's the problem with that, Nico? What is the problem with that?
That being a murderer is not in the genes. That's not something that's been proven before, and it just makes racism okay.
Yeah, it's saying that they can't change this about themselves. It's not, their circumstances or, their whatever other proclivity toward violence might be. It's just that, these people are genetically prone to violence and murder. I, for one, don't believe that. But when you ever see any Trump defenders or Trump surrogates getting out there and defending him I think they're defending the wrong thing. I think, honestly, Trump doesn't understand genetics. Like, he doesn't understand the implication of what he's even saying there.
Somebody just told him to say that.
Yeah.
Well, he's honestly always kind of dabbled in this eugenic stuff. Like, he's talked about...
Well, also a guy who used to boast to people that he kept a copy of Adolf Hitler's Mein Kampf on his bedstand. So people call it Trump derangement syndrome, but they only say that until Trump then goes and takes that next step. He's not racist. Well, he just said it's genetic if you're a violent criminal.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Right, he did know that. One other note here, Elon Musk's mother, May. Do you remember she was in like Estee Lauder commercials
she's
or
like
whatever?
A model.
Ooh.
She appeared to post on X, formerly Twitter, encouraging voter fraud.
Oh, May.
May Musk appeared to encourage a form of voter fraud. This is what
that
she
tree
posted on
doesn't
X.
fall far from its apple.
Here's her post on X. The Democrats have given us another option. You don't have to register to vote. On election day, have 10 fake names. Go to 10 polling booths and vote 10 times. That's 100 votes. And it's not illegal. Maybe we should work the system too. I don't know about you, but I'm getting a little tired of this foreign interference in American elections.
Yeah. Stay out, South Africa.
Yeah, no kidding.
And now, a very important message from Elon Musk's mother.
Yes, hello. It is Elon Musk's mother. Yes, this is definitely not Elon Musk, but rather his mother, you see. And I have some important advice for all of you. Yes, you should use 10 fake names to vote 10 times in the upcoming election. Yeah, I think that's some very good motherly advice, don't you? And you should also buy 10 cyber trucks. And you should drive drive them around town, and run over anybody who makes fun of your Cybertruck. Wow, I'm such a great mom who gives such great advice. Oh, and finally, you should all call your congressman and urge them to give my handsome son a lot of money so he can go to space. I love going to space. I mean, he loves going to space. I am his mother. Yes.
This has been an important message from Elon Musk's mother.
You can, and there are no check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Inderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
I've got a couple of phone calls in the hopper. You can give us a call anytime, overnight, over the weekend, middle of the night. Doesn't matter. If you call the neckline, and that number is 844-805-NECK, 844-805-6325. Cowboys guy, drop us a line. Just let us know that everything's all right.
That you're okay, buddy.
That is a recorded line, so leave your message. Try to keep it under a minute if possible.
If possible.
If you want to call us directly in the studio, like if we're doing a contest or we have a guest on you want to call and talk to us live, the studio line number is the same as it is the rest of the day, 915-910-4995. That's 910-4995 to put in a live call. Before I take these, Joanna, I'm utterly confused. I was told last week that there was a major concert announcement, and I was told that they weren't going to let me know what it was because they're afraid I'd spill the beans or whatever.
Yeah, they don't trust you anymore.
Then it said, I'll give you all the details on Monday, but I think they still didn't include me in that. Have they made the big concert announcement?
Yeah, it's been announced.
Can you finally tell me what it is?
I can.
Okay, who is it?
Well, they will be bringing their Music of the Spheres World Tour to El Paso. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Coldplay to El Paso.
Okay.
Didn't they just perform this past weekend on SNL?
They were the musical guest on SNL.
Were they good?
I don't know.
They were Coldplay, so
it was very
depends on what you think of Coldplay.
Yesterday, I was like going down a rabbit hole. I'm like, wow, I like more Coldplay songs than I thought I did. And it was all yellow.
I can say this as an endorsement of Coldplay.
Yeah.
I don't hate them as much as I do Dave Matthews Band, for instance.
Interesting.
So when's it going to be?
Friday, June 13th.
What do you got again, DMAT?
June 13th.
Yes, sir.
Damn, that's like a year from now.
To the Sun Bowl Stadium.
Oh.
Whoa.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, that's a big one.
I know our boss was like, this is a big deal.
Who's the lead singer?
Chris Martin.
Chris Martin. Is he married to like Gwyneth Paltrow?
They were.
He's Gwyneth Paltrow's ex-wife. I mean, she obviously wears the pants in that family. Right? No, I got nothing against Chris Martin. I got nothing against Coldplay.
Yeah, it might leak and he might like shout you out during his concert.
Oh, God.
Have we found out what Gabriel Iglesias said about you?
You know what?
I think it's the same. I think it's the same thing. I think it's the same thing that has been
Deadpool.
That has been bugging him. Yeah, the Deadpool thing. But that was 2003, man. That was over 20 years ago.
I want to know like how his setup for that was.
Yeah, you guys have I don't know.
Do you guys know Buzz Adams?
Nobody can.
And then there was just like a mix of woo and boo.
Yeah. Well, I think that's been part of his stand-up anytime he's in El Paso. Like, I think he's been doing that for something like 20 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Can I tell you if he let me open for him, I would have gone up there and been like, yeah, screw Buzz Adams.
Yeah.
Boo Buzz Adams. I'm opening.
You get on there. I don't know him.
I have no clue who that man is.
Did they not promote this? I honestly didn't know Gabriel was going to be in town.
Did.
Not very much.
You know, a
they
lot
did.
of people in the comments were saying the same thing. Like, I didn't see any promotion for.
I didn't see a billboard. I didn't see a sign at UTEP. I'm sure that it was up on that flashing sign.
It was that tickets sold out almost immediately.
Right.
Once they went on sale, it was just kind of like, well, there they go.
The next time Gabriel Iglesias is coming to town, we've got to invite him in the studio.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like he's still got a lot of unsettled hash.
I say double down and let's just restart this death pool.
You know what? I agree.
Yeah.
Let's just start this dead
I
pool
didn't get a
once
chance
more.
to
I've
play
never
this.
done it.
I'm putting Diddy on my deathbed. If we're doing it, I'm putting Diddy up there. I can tell you that right now. Well, there had already, like the death pool incident, there had already been an ongoing, there had been an incident involving Gabriel Iglesias and me, and we patched that up and made friends and buried the
Wait, but
hatchet.
before the death pool?
So I thought
Wait,
it was
what was the thing that you guys had to patch up before the death pool?
Man, why do I have to?
Come on, bring. I want to. I don't think I know this one.
I don't.
There's a thing called the Fifth Amendment in which you don't want to incriminate yourself.
Come on.
You kind of wrong.
Tell us.
Okay, so the first time I ever saw Gabriel, he was on a commercial for El Paso.
No,
water
don't waste your water.
Maybe, but it was like, water's healthy for you. And I'm like, yeah, water might be healthy, but why do you get the fattest dude you can find
Did
to
you
talk
actually
about how...
say that on air?
And you said that? You said that, didn't you?
Yeah, of course I did. So he was really hurt by that. And that was before Gabriel really became super famous. I guess he'd been on a show, like a Disney show in the 90s or whatever.
He was on all that.
I don't know what that is.
It's on Nickelodeon.
Him and Amanda Bynes.
Okay, so anyway, I didn't recognize him from that, and I made the comment. I just thought they got some local dude, you know. Anyway,
yeah, he could be a local guy.
He is
This
El
guy-
Paso's adopted son.
That's what they call him, yes.
he's got Gabriel. I think has got a good heart, but he's got really thin skin. You know, like it really bugged him that I said that. But we managed to work past that. So when I
until
the Deadpool incident.
That's what we're going to call it, the Deadpool incident.
And I did that almost as a callback, like, "Hey, remember Gabriel and I had that beef between us or whatever? I'm going to put him on the Deadpool." I did it.
You thought it was
to
funny.
Be funny, right?
Well, if we had to play the death pool again, who would you guys pick?
Diddy.
Okay, you got
That's
Diddy.
a good one.
Joanna?
God, I don't even know.
Elon Musk, I think he's just spiraling right now.
I have Jimmy Carter.
You get 0 points.
that's
In
a
fact,
good
you get
one,
negative
too.
points. The way,
Why?
Why?
Here's the way
what
we
are
used
the
to-
rules to Deadpool?
You subtract it from their age or something?
Yes, I'll explain it to you. By the way, you got to do it in January. That's when you do Deadpool.
All
for
right,
the
well, let's
coming
amp
year.
up. And January's not too
And
far.
we had
now.
enough people in it. There were a couple $1,000s for the winner.
Oh, there's
So-
money involved?
Oh yeah, everybody puts in like $10. So we had, I don't know, 200 people in it.
Oh, I can see how that would encourage murder.
Over $2,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
So here's the way it works. You get to pick, I think 15 was the number. It varied. Like some years we do 12 names, 15 names, 10 names, something like that. But you pick them. If they died within the calendar year, you got 100 points for each celebrity, minus
their
age at death. So if you pick Jimmy Carter, you can
I get
that
negative
0.
points.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
We award you no points.
It does no good to pick a 100-year-old man.
Okay, strategy.
Which also was another.
And may
reason
God have
everybody-
mercy
let me
on
tell
your
you,
soul.
Other people in the show, and I'm not going to call anybody out by name because I'm owning this as my own.
Yeah.
Other people made much more objectionable picks than I did.
What did Mondo pick?
I'm not going to say who anybody picked other than somebody picked John Benet Ramsey. Like they were going to find her, and it's like, oh, they confirmed her death or whatever.
Because she hadn't been confirmed as dead yet.
That wasn't me.
Oh, man. That's
One year somebody picked
messed up.
Anna Nicole Smith's baby.
Are these all Mondo?
No.
I can't see Duke doing that.
Don't mention
They were
it's-
Buzz
You know what?
Adams.
It wasn't me.
Don't mention names.
The
You mean
most-
to this public a radio show that everybody
Where
listens to?
somebody probably out there has a good memory and will call in and say they know who it was.
Diddy's a good pick.
That was the
Diddy is a
year
good
when
pick.
they picked like a baby. I was like, yeah, okay, we got to stop. We got to stop doing this. But Diddy. So I guess for the Deadpool, only pick people that nobody's going to be sympathetic toward.
Diddy, yeah.
Because the younger you go, the more points you get. So everybody would take a few safe bets. You know, everybody'd pick like a Betty White or, back in the day before he died, George Burns or somebody.
All right. I would.
Okay, I'll go Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good
sure.
one.
He's probably not getting medical care in prison. Looks terrible when he shows up in court.
I got a controversial one.
Yeah.
Justin Bieber.
Ooh.
I think he's the A-list celebrity they say that's in the sex tape that's being shopped around.
What?
Have you heard about this?
What?
Yeah, but was he even of age when
That
he went
is
to
the
those parties? What if he
controversy, 'cause
was
he
underage?
probably wasn't. They're
Does that
saying-
make him a victim or a perpetrator, depending on how old he was when it happened?
A little of column A, a little of column B.
Yeah, right. We haven't done the Deadpool, though, in like 15 years, probably.
Oh,
Yeah, so everyone in those comments are like, Buzz has had Fluffy since 2013. And I'm all, we haven't
We
even
have
done
not
a Deadpool.
done it, yeah.
In the amount of time I've been on this show.
Wait, could I pick you for the death pool?
Oh, man. So I picked Gabriel, and
That's
I thought it
gonna
was
hurt
funny.
his
And it does. For some reason, listen, when you end up on somebody's Deadpool list, it hurts. It hurts.
You think I'm going to die this year?
It's just like, stab me in the heart. It's terrible.
I have Buzz.
That's a good pick, Nico. Good
Yeah,
pick.
that might have been why I quit doing it. Because somebody put me on their list, and I'm like,
Buzz was
okay,
like, what the hell?
that's not funny anymore. Let's listen to a couple of neckline calls.
Yo, it's Stoner Guy.
Stoner Guy.
Dude, I read something about Joker 2, Fully Ado, and just that the first Joker we all apparently liked for the wrong reasons. And, you know, it was a great movie, but we all liked it for the wrong reasons. So maybe this one, you know, some people are not liking it, but it's because they don't get it. So I'm really interested in what you got to say later, Buzz.
Yeah.
All right. Stoner Guy out.
I'm going to lay it all on the line for you, Stoner Guy.
I love how he sounds high, even though
he hasn't been smoking because he's on probation.
Yeah.
Do you get like a permanent Stoner Guy voice after a while?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying you're not there yet?
No.
That's what you're saying?
There's just
I'll
people
tell you this,
that have that voice.
It definitely, I think, part of Todd Phillips and his co-writer, I think part of their thing was very much about calling out toxic fan culture. I mean, but I don't think that was the main thrust of the movie, but I'm going to review it, I think, in the 8 o'clock hour, probably sometime between 8 and 8:30 this morning.
Morning, y'all. Hey, just a quick question. So when I'm entering this cash code, right? Like, what's the number that's going to call me back to tell me that I won? Because I'm answering all sorts of spam calls, all sorts of bill collector calls. You can let me know who's going to call, text, or email. That way I know when I won. That'd be great.
He's
All
like,
right.
damn it, let me know.
Listen, no.
He's like, I'm trying to screen calls here.
He is 100% right, because any week it's like, hey, somebody's going to call you, and it's a call I want to get, but I don't know their number. Same thing. Maybe not debt collectors, but I'm picking up the phone.
You're answering every call. that
Oh,
comes
it's about
in.
warranties that I never signed up for. It's soliciting political ads. We've got, do you know what, like 3 numbers, the number, if you're a winner of Money in the Cash Code, you
It
get a
will
call.
be definitely a 915 number.
Okay, but we
I
can't
can
narrow it down beyond that?
No, because I think sometimes it's like Glenn's personal number or our boss's personal number.
Okay. I would say Cash Code's been going great. This is a legitimate complaint that I think the caller just brought up. So the next time we do a Cash Code,
We
if
should
we come up with some other way, because it is its own kind of nightmare to have to pick up calls from
Imagine
numbers you don't recognize.
Back in the day, you just had to
You
pick
just
up
had
the
to
phone.
pick up the phone and say hello. Anybody could call you. And there was no way to screen it. It was
It
before
won't-
even caller ID.
Your phone will not say spam risk for sure.
Or
You just won't recognize
Yeah,
it.
but
It'll
it
be
is-
a 915 number.
It is putting a pretty serious onus on people, especially people who are dodging debt collectors. I mean, they can't pay those debts till they win the $30,000 in the cash
they
code.
won.
No, I hear you, and I take you very seriously. That is definitely a weak spot, I think, in the contest.
You know, for the next one, I'm going to bring that up.
You know, and I
then
don't
maybe
have
we
anything to
can-
do with the rules or the contest. I just sit back here and throw stones, you know?
Sometimes you throw the
And
wrong
nitpick it.
stones, yeah.
But do you think I'm wrong about this one?
No, I
Yeah.
think I will. If you bring it up, I'll back you up.
you're living
Thank
in a
you.
glass mansion.
Oh, my team always backs me up right into the point until somebody asks them. Like when we're in a meeting and I expect you guys to back me up, it's like you turn into these lily-livered chickens.
In front of the boss? Yeah.
Yeah.
I usually don't know what you're talking about.
Backing me up. You got to back me up in front of the boss, or it's not backing me
That
up at
dude
all.
signs my checks, though. So
Did you say anus earlier?
No.
I heard you say onus.
Onus. I said onus.
Okay, my bad.
The onus is on the contestants.
It is on them. In them.
Let's take a look at the Mo Show calendar. Today is National Be Nice Day, everybody.
Did you know it's National Be Nice Day? Be nice. We're gonna be nice.
Okay.
I promise to change your life. Be nice.
National Be Nice Day.
Nice.
Nice. Be nice.
Be nice. Nice. Oh, yes, nice. Nice, huh?
Nice. Be nice, dude. Come on, just be nice, dude.
We can be nice.
Wouldn't it be nice?
Be nice.
I think we should give it a try.
I'm always nice.
Be nice. Be nice.
I can't believe, okay, we're into the calendar now. I can't believe they didn't use any clips from the original Roadhouse when Patrick Swayze's giving him the, if you have to ask somebody to leave, ask them to leave. But be nice. Be nice until you're not nice.
What does that mean?
He's training the bouncers at the Double Deuce.
That's hilarious.
It's called Double Deuce.
You guys never seen Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze?
No.
Did you see the, I guess, remake with Jake Gyllenhaal?
No.
You didn't see that one either? What's wrong with you guys?
Yeah, you know what?
Call yourselves Americans.
Yeah, that one is. I'm going to give you. Yeah, that's on us. That one's on us.
Yeah, I guess that is on us, huh?
In addition to Be Nice Day, today is Microwave Oven Day.
Hell yeah.
I got a question for you.
What?
When I was young, my mother, if the microwave was going, wouldn't let us stand anywhere near it. We had to be like 10 feet away because she said it leaked radiation. Was that true, or was my mom insane?
No, your mom is not insane, but a good mom. But
Well,
no, it does.
is there a chance that maybe the very early microwaves
Emitted that much?
some radiation that leaked out or whatever? And that's the way she said it. It's like the radiation leaks out of the microwave.
Well, if you want to get
what the hell is my Hot Pocket doing?
right, if you want to get technical, light is a form of radiation.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
But listen, could
so
I have
it is giving off microwaves, which is a form of radiation. Yes.
All right. To this day, I said that, and then
you back it up.
I get away as soon as I can.
I put my face right in front of
it. Today is National Salmon Day. Love me some salmon.
I love salmon.
Not as much as I love snapper, though. Today is also World Octopus Day.
I'm not sure if that's a double entendre or not.
Or if he's being serious, right?
I love snapper.
I don't know what you guys
He
are.
loves a good snapper to the face.
Loves a good snapper.
World Octopus Day is today. Should I not eat calamari anymore?
That's not
People were
octopus.
What is it?
It's squid.
Why don't you
There's
want to
no
eat
difference.
calamari anymore?
It's a big difference.
I was with somebody and I ordered calamari for the table, and they were like, I don't eat calamari ever since I saw My Octopus Teacher, because they're intelligent, sensitive creatures.
My God, I've heard of that.
What's
and
My Octopus Teacher?
It's this guy who forms a bond with an octopus.
On day
it's, like,
3, I went
beautiful.
back to see my friend.
And like the octopus remembered him, and
Does he-
they form a friendship.
Does he bang an octopus?
This
Day
is at the
4
boys.
was when I first considered the octopus. I don't know. I never saw it. But
I
somebody,
haven't seen it either, but everyone says it's a beautiful story. And I'm all, are they going to do it?
I saw the Simpsons episode that was based on the My Octopus Teacher.
You're also, I think I can
But
go on that.
I have a moral quandary because
Meet your new mother, kids.
I love me some calamari.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love it.
Calamari is squid.
It's not exactly. It's not the same thing, Buzz. You can't just confuse squid and octopus.
Yeah, you
it's on
can.
Netflix.
Look, German Shepherd and a Chihuahua don't look anything alike, but they're both dogs.
No, because the octopus tentacles are more muscly.
I want you guys to hear what the synopsis of My Octopus Teacher is. It says, a filmmaker begins diving in a kelp forest off the coast of South Africa and meets a female octopus who casts a spell on him. They're totally going to do it.
It won the Academy Award for Best Documentary that year.
Oh, my God.
Good morning. Buzz, in regards to the microwave, I think your mom was into something. And I say this because I used to work at a restaurant. There was this girl who couldn't stand in front of the microwave because she had a pacemaker.
What?
So it's definitely something coming out of the microwave, whether that's radiation or... And when she told me, I was like, yeah, right. No, because I have a pacemaker. So.
All right, well, I don't have a pacemaker yet. Let's see what else is going on. Birthdays today include Bruno Mars, the multi-talented artist. He sings, he dances, he probably acts, I don't know. He's 39 today. Nick Cannon, host of The Masked Singer and father to, I don't know, like
the
1,000?
world?
Is he up to 1,000 yet? Like, as many people as live in Liechtenstein, I think he's got that many kids.
Him and Abraham.
The Miz from Pro Wrestling is 44 today. WWE superstar Mike Mizanin, also known as The Miz. And Matt Damon's having a birthday today. He's 54. Sigourney Weaver, who was in the Alien movies and Avatar and Ghostbusters. You know, Sigourney Weaver, of course, 75 years old today. And Chevy Chase turns 81. You got to watch that movie about the first broadcast of Saturday Night Live. I think it comes out this week. You interested in that? They've really been promoting it during Saturday Night Live. Yeah, a lot. So Chevy Chase is 81, also turning 81 today. R.L. Stine, the author of the Goosebumps series.
Nice.
The Reverend Jesse Jackson, civil rights leader, is 83 today. And Crocodile Dundee is also having a birthday. That is Australian actor. And I bet you didn't know this, originally got famous in Australia as a comedian on a comedy show.
Yeah. Who do we get to talk to about? Eric Bana. We got to talk to Eric Bana
talked about how Paul Hogan was like his... We found out that Eric Bana,
the Hulk,
started in comedy. But so did Paul Hogan. He's 85 today. The Great Chicago Fire was set off possibly by an Irish lady's cow on this date in 1871.
What?
And it was 20 years ago in 2004, Martha Stewart officially began serving her 5-month sentence at Camp Cupcake in West Virginia.
That's not what it's called.
Well, that's what everybody called it because it was supposed to be so cushy. And apparently they let her grow zucchini for her own zucchini bread while she was in prison. So, in addition to Be Nice Day, Halloween's not that far off, guys. This is really the time to go out and start getting your costumes because I went to the Spirit Halloween store last week, and it I wouldn't say it was crowded, but it wasn't empty either. I mean, there was a line. There was already a line.
Hello, and happy Halloween. Yep, Halloween is here, and it's my favorite time of the year. And I'll tell you why. I love all those creative costumes. And by creative, I mean all the whorish ones. Let's face it, the women want to be eye candy. I mean, that's the whole reason they wear those silly, sexy costumes, is to get men to ogle them. So here's some last-minute advice for all those women who are still looking for that perfect costume to objectify themselves. Are you ready? Take notes.
All right.
Go as a naked woman washing dishes. Sure, why not? It's very affordable in this economy, and you'll finally get the attention you've been craving. Isn't that right, Narlene, my faithful secretary? Yes, continue bobbing for that apple. Halloween. Love it.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5.
The greatest tool ever. The Name Your Price tool at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
We're back. Buzz is back.
Hey, right on, Buzz.
Buzz and the Morning Show, 95.5, The Q.
Joanna has the Hollywood Cheese May on the way. I went to go see Joker 2 yesterday. Even though I'd seen so many negative reviews of it, and the Rotten Tomatoes scores are dismal, I went anyway. And I will have my review coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. With no spoilers.
You took French in high school, didn't you?
We?
What does folie à deux mean?
Okay, so it means a delusion shared by two people.
Ah.
Beyond just the French words, like how they literally translate, it's also a clinical psychiatric term for somebody who shares a delusion with somebody else.
Really?
Yeah. I thought everybody knew that.
No.
Well, it is true. Here is M.G. Kelly being asked to do his Jelly Roll impression. You want to hear M.G. Kelly's take on Jelly Roll?
You're the only person I know that says M.G. Kelly. It's either Machine Gun Kelly or M.G.K., but I don't hear the middle.
M.G.K. All right.
Yeah.
What's up, Bubba? What's up? What's up, Slim? You over there about to wear? You looking like Johnny Cash and Johnny Depp right now. You about to go there, man? Just win them country folks over, man. Just tell them you love them, man. Bring an award back home for me, Bubba. I love you, Kels.
No, he's you got to sound more like a preacher, like a Southern preacher on Sunday morning.
5 years ago, I was inside a prison cell. Finally, I got out on work release, and I worked back as a busboy at Chili's. Looking good in the neighborhood.
That's your Jelly Roll?
Yeah. That's my Jelly Roll.
It was okay.
Couple of calls off the neckline here, and then Joanna's going to have the Hollywood Cheese May coming up.
Yeah, hey, I'm calling to comment on the leakage of radiation from microwaves. Not true. Microwaves are designed very specifically to shield against the leakage of any kind of radio frequency emanations that may be produced in the microwave itself. But they do not leak from the microwave. They are very specifically designed, microwaves are, to not have that happen. It's a safety issue that all manufacturers have to contend with, and they're tested to extremes to make sure that never happens.
Okay.
Now, if you bust the shielding on the front of the microwave or the glass, potentially there could be leakage there. But, yeah, they're not designed that way. And very specifically, safety is always a major consideration when they sell these things. So, yep, not the case. Thanks.
Yeah.
I was talking earlier that anytime my mom used our microwave, and we didn't get a microwave, I think, until we were almost in high school, but she would make us, everybody, all right, stand back. And then she would push the button like somebody pulling the pin on a grenade. We would get as far away from the microwave as possible.
So very early,
maybe those early, I mean,
microwaves, they could interfere with pacemakers, like the electromagnetic radiation.
We had a call saying that they had a coworker that couldn't stand near a microwave.
Right. So I looked it up. So the early ones had a potential for messing with pacemakers, but it's not like it's electromagnetic radiation. If you're thinking about like nuclear radiation, like beta particles and alpha particles, gamma rays, it doesn't do that.
I don't know. I see what it does to a hard-boiled egg if you put it in there too long. I don't want it cooking my insides like it does. Let's see. Got a couple other calls here, and then we got that Hollywood report coming up.
Hey, good morning show. I really just calling in to give a shout out. I want to give a special shout out to the tech stock and those trucks that they use for emergencies, the assault vehicles that block the highway. I'm going to give out a shout out to El Paso Police Department and El Paso, or not El Paso, but Texas DPS. You guys are the MVPs for real. Like, the way that you guys, block traffic for those of us that have to go into work at 4 a.m.
I only just got that this is
sarcasm.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's nice. Let's
shout out
our textile workers.
GPS.
When it was a swerve.
You're driving down I-10 at 320, and the way you slow traffic down and have us at a crawl of 5 miles per hour between McCrae and Geronimo, just to not have there be anything. That way I have to get off of the freeway on the side and get ahead of you guys, just because, we decided, how can we mess with commuters early this morning? I don't know. Let's just block the highway. Yeah, let's do that. Let's suck all together. We suck, so therefore everybody that's driving at this time sucks. So big shout out.
Okay, hold on a second. It's better doing it overnight. And I've been caught in it too, like really early in the morning. It's better to do it at 3 in the morning than 3 in the afternoon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or 5 in the afternoon.
Shout out to the awesome management. Shout out to everybody, bro. Shout out. It's all love from here, bro.
Okay.
He does not. No. I have a feeling he doesn't mean any of that.
Yeah.
I thought it was sincere in the beginning. It just kind of went downhill.
They'll be doing work and they've got I-10 shut down. And if I can see that they've got I-10 shut down overnight, I'll take a different route. But every now and then I check it. It's all clear. And what I don't realize is they're just now picking up all of the, road, the things that block the road. I don't even know what they're called.
The road blockers.
The road blockers, right. And they're doing it one by one. And then I'm just trapped behind it. Hey, is October a thing? Like give up drinking in the month of October?
Sober October, I think.
Sober October.
I think October is a better name.
October?
Yeah. I think I'm
Is it because you came up with it?
Yeah, mine's better.
Okay.
I'm doing it, I think, for the rest of the month.
You are?
I didn't have a single drink yesterday.
Oh, congrats, buddy.
Well, even
okay?
even that makes it sound pretty bad. That I'm like, hey, it's notable that I did not have one drink all day long.
Hey, I'll take whatever smokables you have off your hands.
Ozzy Osbourne admitted that he's not.
We're going to move past that one.
Yeah. I said sober. Ozzy Osbourne admitted that he is not completely sober, but that Sharon does his best to keep the stuff away from him.
I'm lucky my wife kicked my butt all the time. She would make life so difficult.
Isn't life easier for you
Much
now?
easier.
Like, you just don't have to think about it.
With the marijuana, she'll find it and get rid of it.
So he said, but with if there's marijuana, she'll find it and
get rid of it.
Get rid of it.
Get mustache.
So it's like, he's talking about being sober, but he's also like, yeah, every now and then I try and hide weed, but
he's
my wife
California
finds it.
sober.
Yeah.
Buenas Hollywood cheese mix. Buenas Hollywood cheese mix. Buenas Hollywood cheese mix. Buenas, tell us more.
Here is Joanna Barba with the Hollywood Cheese May. Good morning, Joanna.
Good morning. Metallica have donated $100,000 to Hurricane Helene relief efforts through the band's All Within My Hands Foundation. The foundation is supplying $50,000 to both World Central Kitchen and Team Rubicon in their relief operations in the aftermath of Hurricane Helene. World Central Kitchen's response includes vital food and clean water, reaching isolated communities using helicopters and airboats. Metallica's foundation has a long history of helping those in need following tragedy or catastrophe. All Within My Hands has previously aided California wildfire relief and Ukrainian refugees, along with other causes. And the band will play its annual Helping Hands benefit concert to raise money for the All Within My Hands Foundation on December 13th at the YouTube Theater in Los Angeles. YouTube has its own theater now?
The YouTube Theater?
YouTube Theater.
Pitbull has his own stadium.
He does?
Yeah, he bought the naming rights for a stadium, so it's now going to be known as the Pitbull Stadium.
Wow.
That's kind of cool, yeah.
Metallica, the $100,000 is much appreciated, but they really should have reworked one of their songs into a song about Hurricane Helene.
Oh, yeah?
Dolly Parton did.
Today, I wanted to announce that from myself personally, just from my own bank account, I'm donating $1 million today. But there's a lot to be done, and we're trying to find other ways to even raise more funds.
All right, so that's Dolly,
Dolly.
donating $100, but as I say, she also spun one of her big hit songs into a Hurricane Helene song.
Helene, 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 you came in here and broke us all apart. Helene, 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 but we're all here. to mend these broken hearts.
All right.
Yes.
So
A queen.
turn one into a song about a hurricane.
Which one would Metallica choose?
Well, one.
That's a good one, yeah. Al Pacino's relationship with baby mama Noor Alfallah has been a bit odd. Alfallah, who is 30 years old, has the type, apparently, wealthy, famous, and much older than her.
Yeah, I think they should come up with a word for that.
Yeah, they should.
Like somebody who goes after rich, older guys.
A geezer pleaser.
Geezer
That's a good one.
Jenny taught us that.
Her dating history included Clint Eastwood and Mick Jagger before she got with the 84-year-old Pacino.
Did
and
she
had
get
a
knocked
child.
out by them?
Yes. Well, not by them, but by Pacino. She had a child with him last year. But maybe now she's decided a younger man is more her thing now. Buzz, you mentioned yesterday that over the weekend she was seen out with comedian Bill Maher, who is only 68. That's only 38 years older than her. So
She just needs to start dating Jimmy Carter, guys. I mean,
he's single, so yeah.
Have you seen any pictures of her?
Of Noor Alfallah?
She's pretty pretty.
Yeah.
She's pretty pretty.
Pretty pretty.
So many are asking now, are the two dating, Alfallah and Bill Maher? And what about Al? Well, according to his reps, it's all good. Pacino and Alfallah are just friends and co-parent their 1-year-old son.
Okay, just friends.
Together.
We have a baby together.
We have a baby together, but we're just friends. As to whether Alfallah and Maher are dating, they were seen late Sunday night dressed for a night out. So maybe she's going in a younger direction now.
Only 68, huh?
Only 68.
Hooah! There's fire under that dress.
Scent of a woman.
All right.
Was that Scent of a Woman?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
was
was.
quoting Scent of a Woman.
Nice.
That's right.
Very good, Nico.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
You've never seen it?
No.
Then how do you know the quotes?
I'm
in the dark here.
Pop culture, right?
One of the high points of Sarah Michelle Gellar's career was her role as Helen Shivers in I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Helen Shivers
Her
was
name
the
was
character.
Helen Shivers, yes.
Okay, in retrospect, it is a little silly.
But with the reboot fast approaching, Geller has some bad news for fans of the film. She's not going to be making an appearance. And her reason for not taking part in the new version of the film is logical, because she explains saying, I'm dead. If you don't remember, she died in the original. However, she will be involved with the film in an unofficial capacity, she says. Geller's husband, Freddie Prinze Jr., will be returning to his role as Ray from the original.
God, how
The
long has it
reboot-
been since Freddie Prinze Jr. was in a movie?
That's a good one. I just saw him in like a Christmas movie on Hallmark.
On Hallmark, right? I don't count that.
You don't?
No.
I don't know then. Scooby-Doo? No, that can't be it. The reboot of I Know What You Did Last Summer hits theaters July 18th of next year.
I still know what you did the summer before
I
last.
know what you did 20 summers ago. Finally, Dua Lipa is turning heads and dividing the internet because she is spicing up her Diet Coke. Did you look up Freddie Prinze Jr.?
Yeah, I got to see what he's been in
Yeah,
recently.
what's the last thing? And also tell me the name of that Hallmark movie he was in.
Yeah, you go ahead. I'll look.
Okay.
Oh, he still looks good.
He looks amazing. I love Freddie Prinze Jr.
But he's all gray now.
I like a little salt and pepper.
There's a lot more salt.
Anyway, Dua Lipa was in Austin to perform at Austin City Limits Festival, and the pop star stopped by a local restaurant and doctored up her soda in a unique way. Her concoction caught the curious eyes of onlookers. Lipa got herself a Diet Coke, and then she did the unexpected. She poured pickle juice into the soda. After funneling the briny liquid in her drink, she put a couple of pickles into the cup as well. But the mixing didn't stop there. The singer then added jalapeno juice into her beverage as well. Oh, right. After mixing everything together, she took a sip and then handed it to her friends at the table who had very mixed reactions. One of them was like, it's not bad, but another one thought it was very pickly. Another friend was clearly not a fan as she made a sour face after the taste test, but Dua Lipa apparently loves doing this. And
Diet Coke, though.
Diet Coke.
Pickle juice.
Pickle juice.
Yeah, that's Buzz's biggest complaint
right?
about the whole thing. Not the gross ingredients, it's the diet.
You don't like Diet Coke?
No, it's fine. I mean,
It's better than no Coke.
It's no Diet Dr. Pepper, that's for sure.
Fun twists on plain soda have been bubbling up on social media recently, especially with the release of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives Who Drink Dirty Sodas.
What's a dirty soda?
Got alcohol in it.
No, it's when they put
got
like
caffeine in it?
syrup and creamers in it too.
Ew.
It's pretty good, actually.
What?
At Sonic, they had like an option to make it dirty. It was really good. Yes.
Glisten and the Merry Mission, Freddie Prinze Jr. 2023.
Freddie Prinze.
The girl in
Maybe
the
that
pool.
Christmas with You 2022.
Oh, I think that's the one I saw. Christmas with You.
Clerks 2.
Mm-hmm.
He does a lot of voiceover work for video games.
Doing some voiceover stuff. He is 48.
Perfect.
Wait, he was born in 76? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 48. With your entertainment news, I'm Joanna Barba.
Coming up after the Buzz Adams Morning Show, Glenn Garza and Daniel Paulus.
Estas y bonitas.
When you visit Arizona, time is measured in moments, not minutes. Like the moment your work stress disappears as you kayak through the canyons. Or the moment you discover the life-changing effects of prickly pear chocolate. But nothing beats the moment you see the Grand Canyon for the very first time. Visit a new state of mind. Learn more at hereyouareaz.com.
And every game on a big screen. Ojos Locos Sports Cantina, La Casa del Balón.
Local and loco.
Don't you know I'm loco?
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, 95.5 KLAQ.
Today is World Octopus Day.
Oh,
So you're telling me an octopus and a squid are not the same thing?
No, sir.
Okay. How do you, and which one do they make calamari out of?
I think squid,
Not octopus.
not octopus.
Okay.
Now I'm going to watch that, My Octopus Teacher. What?
That came up. None of us saw this documentary, but it was awarded the Academy Award the year it was nominated for Best Documentary. But I guess some listeners did not like our implication that the guy in My Octopus Teacher had ulterior motives.
It kind of.
Good morning. This is Mad Plato. I was a little offended when you guys started saying that there was some eroticism going on in The Octopus Teacher. There wasn't none whatsoever. It was mesmerizing, this whole film, and it was beautiful. But no, in fact, the octopus was too tiny, anyway. And I don't think there's any recorded documentation that an octopus has ever had relations with a human, a sex, that is. And it would be an armful if they did. So, good morning. Happy Octopus Day.
Happy Octopus Day to you, Mad Plato.
He's like,
I hope
don't think they did.
God.
They didn't really do it. But it was beautiful.
And if they did, I'm glad there is no documentation of it. You know what there is documentation of?
What's that?
Dolphins getting really randy with humans, especially women.
Dude, those dudes are horny.
Like male dolphins.
Yeah.
And,
I've seen videos where they're just
and the
like,
dolphins
like
instigated, obviously.
They're just like at a water park or something, and or an aquarium, and they're like, the dolphin jumps out and starts humping someone.
Everybody acts like that's such a bizarre thing, but you've been around humping dogs before. Have you ever had one of those dogs that just gets on your leg?
Yeah,
and holds on like there's no
chihuahuas.
tomorrow? I had a friend, Eric Christensen, and he had these two little, I don't know, like little yappy, flat-faced bulldogs of some kind. And man, if you went in his house, there was one of them on each leg.
Like,
I mean, they just wrapped
your
on.
dog's going at it again. And
I thought, well, that's weird. My dog doesn't do that. But I thought, well, maybe it's my dog that's weird. Maybe all dogs just jump on your leg.
Why aren't you humping anything?
But these were the humpedest little bastards you ever saw in your life. Hey, got a true crime report standing by. Let me update you on concerts. If you're planning to go to see Blackstone Cherry on October 12th, this Saturday, that show has been canceled. It was going to be at the Rock House, but Blackstone Cherry have canceled. Another show coming up this week. In fact, tomorrow, Foreigner with Loverboy at the Pan Am Center in Las Cruces. So, classic rock show there with Foreigner and Loverboy. Lowbrow Palace is going to have a club show with Soul Asylum. And that is coming up next Tuesday, a week from today, October 15th, at Lowbrow Palace. And just announced, Gary Clark Jr. at the Abraham Chavez Theater, February 24th, 2025. Tickets are on sale now through livenation.com. And I did see an email that says that we're going to have Coldplay tickets to give away. So that was the big concert announcement that they wouldn't let me know about.
They didn't tell you about it.
Yeah. I guess they consider me like the Tom Holland of the KLAQ staff, that I'll accidentally blab it out during an interview or something.
For sure you will.
When's Coldplay coming again?
June 13th.
All right, let me peruse this email close and see when we can start giving away the Coldplay tickets. We are going to have more tickets for the KLAQ Haunted House of Terror, though.
Sure.
This week, it's going to be open Thursday through Sunday. Thursday, 7 to 10. Then on Friday and Saturday, extended hours, 7 to midnight. And Sunday, you can go Sunday as well, 7 to 10 on Sunday. Tickets at the door, they're $25. Look for discounts. You can also get the Fast Pass option, especially as it gets closer to Halloween. It's going to get a lot more busy, so you get the upgrade to a Fast Pass brought to you by Right Drive. The KLAQ Haunted House of Terror is open Thursday through Sunday this week, 13900 Montana.
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast.
Here we go. Our crime stories from all over the United States and sometimes even beyond. I got quite a few to get to here.
You do?
A 28-year-old man in Arizona was arrested after allegedly hiding under vehicles at a car wash to stare at women's feet.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
28-year-old Jesse Johnson was arrested.
Can't you get a job at Foot Locker?
Yeah, there's a career out there for you.
Yeah.
After allegedly hiding under vehicles at a car wash so he could look at their feet. He parked next to a woman who was vacuuming their vehicles.
Oh, she's got some nice toesies.
Get out and crawl under their cars and remain there for several minutes.
Oh, my God.
How would you feel finding that guy?
What if it was closed-toe shoes? Like, does he still just fantasize down there?
Don't know, man. I don't get the feet thing at all. I mean, people have feet. Some people's are more attractive than others, I'm sure. But
Remind me later to show you a video that Alberto sent me.
Oh, God.
Is it a foot video?
Yeah, it is. It's hilarious.
Yeah, is he under a car at a car wash?
No.
Here's an employee of the car wash talking about catching Jesse Michael Johnson in the act.
Going through the video footage, I watched it happen. She was already in the process of calling the cops. There's no way he's coming back for a third time. He keeps walking back and forth, and you'll see him do that. He's watching to see what she's doing. When we talk to her, she's in the back seat vacuuming her car on that driver's side, and he slips up underneath that front tire. He was out underneath the vehicle for about 5 to 6 minutes, I want to say, and then he slips out and goes to this back passenger tire and is like trying to fiddle with it, making it seem like he's there the entire time.
Wow. What a technique.
Those piggies went to the market.
Just to watch a bit of Tootsies.
Well, Tootsies, yeah.
3 people in Ohio are accused of faking the suicide of their friend, a registered sex offender. The friends claimed to police officers that they saw him fall into a lake and not come back up. Brianna Watkins and Matthew Hunt are 2 of the friends. They face charges of inducing panic, false alarm, obstructing justice, a pretty long list. They claimed that their friend, Richard Newland, 40, a registered sex offender, had drowned and they saw him go under at the lake. The searchers included emergency medical service. Oh, yeah, this cost a lot of money. Fire, police, divers were there. Dive teams suited up. They combed the water of the lake. They could not find Newland. At some point, authorities realized it was a hoax.
What?
Newland was arrested days after the search. He's a registered sex offender stemming from a 2013 conviction.
After being at a car wash looking at all these ladies' feet.
Yeah, well, this is a victim under 13, so they weren't washing their own car. The cause of the alleged hoax was due to a deadline he missed to report his location to authorities. He's required to do that every 6 months.
Damn.
Let's see. Wonder. Now I guess I don't have audio to go along with that one. Sorry about that, guys. A couple stories from Tulsa, where I grew up, not too far from Tulsa. So a couple of stories. An Oklahoma woman was arrested for DUI after she was caught drunk driving on the runway of an airport. She was at the Tulsa Riverside Airport. So Riverside is more of like one of those bedroom community airports. It's not like the big international airport. They fly a lot of Piper Cubs and Cessnas and things like a regional
pond hopper. What do they call them? Yeah,
puddle jumpers.
Puddle jumper.
Air traffic control put in the call to police and said that the woman's Nissan was blocking a runway and there was a plane circling trying to land. A pilot who was taxiing his plane saw the Nissan, so he got out and confronted the driver. He saw that the car was full of beer cans, Nico. So he reached in the car and took the driver's keys. The driver, Bonnie Campbell, was arrested for felony aggravated DUI and taken to a hospital for treatment. Listen to this next sentence, though. Officers said they found 18 empty beer cans inside the car.
Whoa.
Along with a box of Coors Light. So either a 12 or an 18 or a 24, whatever it was. An empty six-pack container and a garbage bag full of other beer cans. She blew a .34 on the breathalyzer, more than 4 times the legal limit.
Holy crap.
And not too far away from there, at Bigsby High School, a principal got in a lot of trouble for showing up at a high school dance drunk.
Do you know where Bigsby is?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Bigsby's just south of Tulsa, very close to Jenks, where the other story was from. Police say Mickey Raplogel, the principal of Bixby High School, showed up at the fall dance smelling of alcohol, slurring, and on top of that, reportedly got handsy with students on the dance floor.
I'm sorry. That's not funny.
Joanna.
Police had enough evidence to charge him with public intoxication, but they are investigating more of his behavior. They're asking students to come forward if they got felt up or touched.
Or touched, or they're like, has your teacher showed up absolutely sloshed?
It's like, which one?
I'm not a teacher, but if I had to, I'd have to do that.
Absolutely.
I feel like it would be a requirement.
Like mandatory.
And a heroic cop in Minnesota put his own life on the line to save an 18-year-old whose car had turned into a runaway vehicle. He couldn't stop accelerating, and the car kept going faster and faster. The 18-year-old named Sam Dutcher was driving into Minnesota from North Dakota when his vehicle, a 2022 Honda Pilot, would not stop accelerating and the brakes didn't work. Apparently, they found out later the vehicle's computer had malfunctioned.
Oh, my God.
I'd never heard of that before. So the kid, the 18-year-old, called 911, freaked out, and said that his car just kept going faster and faster. Nothing was working. They tried to troubleshoot it over the phone, so Sam drove another 20 minutes in the runaway car, flying through intersections at 80 miles an hour, then 90, 100.
Oh, my God.
All the way up to 113, Joanna. The police were hoping to drop those spike strips in his path.
Uh-huh.
He He was going too fast. They didn't have time
even
to do it.
work?
The police saw that he was headed toward a T in the road. They knew they had to do something because he was not going to be able to make the turn at that speed. He was already going 113 at that time. So they got on with him, and one officer, State Trooper Zach Groover, raced up to him. Another cop, Deputy Zach Johnson, instructed Sam to crash into the cruiser that was ahead of him. I guess maybe this is like a maneuver you're supposed to do that only the cops know in the case
They're
of
like
a runaway
Fast and
vehicle.
Furious style,
He was
crash
told,
into it.
hit the back of the police cruiser. So we're going to hear some of the audio from this stunning moment.
Hey, this thing is accelerating. My foot is not on the gas.
Is the accelerator stuck down?
I was going a lot faster than we thought it was. I started to go, I'm going to die tonight.
Yeah, I'll try to get in front of you and add a little extra brake power.
Probably 130. I know squad tops out around 140, so probably somewhere in that range.
Yes, run into the back of his car.
I don't think I did anything special. Really, I think what it comes down to is I just had the fastest car and was able to get in front of them.
All right, so that was State Trooper Zach Groover. It was the Deputy Zach Johnson who instructed him to crash into the back of it. He did. Both vehicles skidded to a stop. Miraculously, Joanna, no injuries.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, pretty incredible, right?
Fast and Furious style. They never get hurt.
And that is your true crime report.
I deal in crime and that kind of thing.
I owe my life of crime to the fact that I was a dropout.
Music news, concert updates, song and album factoids, and of course, nothing but El Paso's best rock.
Oh, to how big we can. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Enderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
All right, Nico, the thing you wanted me to look at isn't loading, so...
There it is.
Okay. So what's going on here?
So this...
What am I looking at?
You're looking at a video from...
Gotta hate TikTok. I do. I just hate TikTok.
Well, this is a Twitter video. But you're looking at a video from a Donald Trump rally this past weekend on October 3rd. There was a attendee sitting right behind him, and they were making kind of like a weird gesture with their hands on their face.
Okay, so it looks like he makes the shush sound.
Yeah.
And then he does almost like he's slitting his throat. Did people get freaked out like it was a signal to, do something rash?
Yes.
But it's actually called mewing?
Yeah.
Wait. Why are you laughing? Because you've never heard of that or because you've heard of it and know what it is?
Because I've heard of it.
What is it then?
My nephews had to explain it.
What is mewing?
It's like a weird thing.
Why does
you
this
do
guy
to,
look like a school shooter, though? I mean, honestly,
I know,
the guy
seriously.
who's doing
Is he wearing a hoodie?
He's wearing a hoodie and glasses, and he's got like a Nico mustache going. It's
that's like a 13-year-old's mustache.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay, yeah, never mind. Anyways, go for it.
It's like a thing you do for pictures or something where you put like your tongue up against the roof of your mouth and it like makes you look like you've got a cut jawline.
Yeah, so...
Okay, but first he makes the shh.
Yeah, so that's part of it.
He's right. Like, I don't know how you get these seats. Like, you have to be a grand wizard in your county or something.
He's a supporter.
I get to get on stage. Also, if your skin tone is anything other than milky white, they're putting you on the stage.
Right behind Donald.
Otherwise, it would just be blindingly white.
So
right?
he's not doing the cut your neck because that would go from one side to the other. He's doing it on the same side of the jawline.
And that means what?
I have no idea what mewing means.
Joanna.
I have no idea what it means. I just know that that's what they're doing.
But you said something about it makes...
It kind of makes you look like you've got a good, strong jawline.
Mewing is a non-medical technique that involves placing your tongue against the roof of your mouth as part of oral posture training. That's the technical term for it.
Oral posture.
But what he's doing is like a trend called mewing now, where they're highlighting the jawline by. I don't know why they do it.
I don't know either, but
they do it in videos. It's like a kid.
But if he was just saying, maybe I wonder if this is the video they were watching because they were like, "Dude, he's mewing, bro."
Bro, he's mewing.
So how freaked out did people get?
So freaked out. People online are just like, people need to look at these Satanists that are threatening the president. Just like crazy things people have been saying about that guy.
Let's see. The American Association of Orthodontics has a statement about this trend. It says they have defined mewing as a do-it-yourself facial restructuring method. You press your tongue. Okay, but you don't see his tongue. Who knows what he's doing? Which eventually makes your jawline look sharper and face seem thinner. The process is, however, not officially recognized in the field of dentistry. Mewing. People show their strong jawline to express their dominance. Nice try, kid.
I know, right? I was just more concerned with like, wow, I am so far out of the loop. So, like
that you didn't know what this.
It wasn't even on the radar. Yeah.
Welcome to middle age.
Don't say that.
Let's see. 10% of Americans are doing sober October.
Socktober.
No,
Socktober.
that doesn't make any sense. It should be October.
October sober.
October.
Sober October.
A survey found 10% of Americans plan to participate in Sober October this year. But then you got a Halloween party, and usually there's some kind of witch's brew or something there.
Witch's brew.
Yes. Another recent poll found 38% of adults don't drink at all. So if you combine those, almost half the country is not drinking alcohol this month.
Good.
That's nice.
Avoiding booze is a trendy thing to do now, partly because young people aren't drinking as much. Well, good for you, young people.
That's good.
Yeah, you didn't have to live through the pandemic.
The poll found the number of Americans who are at least curious about a sober lifestyle has doubled since 2020. All right.
Sober curious.
So I've got some cheat codes here. Not cheat codes like in a video game, but for life. They're talking about things that will serve you well if you do these. By the way, somebody just for the first time ever finished the original Tetris to all 255 levels.
Wow.
Yeah, I just saw that in the news today.
Why couldn't anybody beat it before?
Let me find the audio here real quick. There's a whole story in here. When I read the story, I may not have thought it was interesting enough to
bring up,
highlight.
And then you brought it up without having it ready.
Brought it up. Yeah, that's right. Okay, here you go. I found it. A 13-year-old in Oklahoma became the first person to beat Tetris. The game never really ends, but eventually freezes up. So he made it to level 157 when it finally crashed.
That's what I had. Okay, so Tetris, you can keep playing, but eventually there's a bug in the game where the game will crash at some point.
Is it a bug, or they intentionally put it in there just to tell people to take a break from playing freaking Tetris?
Good question.
Let me see if I can find the audio. Here you go. A 16-year-old kid became the first person to completely defeat the original NES Tetris. Well, I was wondering what kids were playing these days. Turns out he used a crash-resistant version of the game and made it to Rebirth, where the game rolls back to the start. So here is 16-year-old Michael Arteaga being the first person to ever get past level 255.
Oh my god, I actually thought to end at 254. I just messed it up. All the ore is gone now. It's all gone. It's actually all gone, bro. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god, I actually got rebirth. Oh my god!
It took over 80 minutes. He completed 255 levels, cleared 3,300 lines. I guess if you're really into Tetris, these are impressive figures, right?
Yeah, these mean nothing to me.
But do you want to hear some of the
absolutely
some of the real life cheat codes? I'll go ahead and give out the phone numbers in case anybody kind of is inspired and you have a cheat code for life.
Try
like
and describe it again.
Hack.
Okay, a life hack, something that people could use in their life to make things easier. And probably other people don't know.
Do you know a thing called the Konami code?
Like from
up, down, down, left, right, B, A, start. It's supposed to be a cheat code equivalent of Open Sesame.
I remember it used to be. I don't know if the games still do that.
Here's one that really makes a lot of sense. I never would have thought of this on my own. Diarrhea is the best excuse to get out of anything. No one questions it, and no one expects you to go to the doctor for it.
I wouldn't want to cry wolf with that one too often. Then you end up being the pooer.
Here's one that is so true, if you can pull it off. I mean, maybe not everybody can pull it off, but here's a cheat code for you for life. Confidence can get you super far, even if it's all an act.
True.
Fake it till you make it, bro.
That's not bad advice.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't do that if I were an air traffic controller, or a heart surgeon or something.
But it works for DJ.
Yeah, for DJ. For anything. Like if you're ever going in somewhere and it's like, hey, I need to get tickets for this sold out show, go up and talk to the person with a lot of confidence. And a lot of times, if you just go up, I did that when we went to go see Book of Mormon. It was sold out, but I went up and it was like, start talking to the guy and he's like, yeah, I could probably do something for you.
Nice.
People like talking about themselves more than they like hearing about anybody else. So if you interact with people,
ask them about themselves.
Memorize one thing about them. Maybe a kid's name, a sport your kid's into, a hobby, just something about them. Ask them about it every once in a while. People are always surprised and appreciate you remember something about them.
You're into needlepoint, Buzz? Oh, my God.
I got a few more of these, but Joanna says it's time for a break. So let's go ahead and get that in.
I don't say that. The clock says that.
No,
I'm not the enemy.
The clock doesn't have a mouth. So you say it. I've got a few of my own, including the Ben Franklin phenomenon, which is a great cheat code for life. Have you ever heard of the Ben Franklin paradox or the Ben Franklin effect?
Going to whorehouses and not getting any STD.
Yeah, that's right. Because you used a prophylactic made out of a sheep's bladder, probably.
Yeah, and you invented it.
and you invented it. They never give him all the credit he deserves. A few more of these cheat codes if you want to call in and share with us on these. Toll-free neckline. I don't know why I keep saying toll-free, but it's a neckline. It's 844-805-NECK. That's 844-805-6325. Or you can call us directly at the studio. Get on live with us. If you're live, you go first. So the studio line number is 915-910-4995. That's 910-4995. I just thought of another cheat code for life. Call directly into the studio, and your call gets played right away.
Life hack.
Let's take a break.
Leave a message on the neckline at 844-805-6325.
Hey, I tell you what, Buzz, when I first heard of this neckline, I thought it was the dumbest thing I ever heard of. But I done called you about
registration.
At Humana, our Medicare Advantage plans give you coverage and care you can count on, along with guided support to help you feel your best. You could have a plan with a $0 premium or an all-in-one plan that may include medical and prescription coverage, as well as routine dental, vision, and hearing. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
9 a.m. Parade begins at 3:30 sharp. Full details at KLAQ.com.
Oh, guess who this is?
Buzz Adams and the KLAQ Morning Show.
You must be the greatest radio show host ever.
Buzz is back.
If I know Cappy, and I do know Cappy, he's trying to track down whether this Adam Schefter story is Schechter story is real about Robert Saleh being
Saleh.
fired from the.
Oh, yeah,
from
it's
the
real,
Jets.
baby.
All right, we're going to get to that in just a second.
Totally real.
Here's what I think, Nico, so you can plan the news. Steve's going to do sports. I'm going to talk about going to see Joker 2 yesterday.
Joker.
And I want to take a couple of calls first about the life hacks.
What's up, Buzz and Diamond Owl? So I learned this crazy hack one time. It just blew my mind. So it turns out the garbage bags, when you get them, are actually backwards. And you're supposed to flip them inside out and put them down in the trash can. Complete game changer. Mind blowing. Have a good one, guys.
Wait a second. I'm calling BS on
I've
this
heard
one.
that one. Yeah,
What
yeah,
are you
yeah.
talking about? They're
The
backwards.
bags are already like inside out, and you're supposed to flip them.
Why would they do that?
I don't know.
That makes no sense in my head.
Because, like, if you notice, like, the seam will be on the outside of your trash bag.
Yeah, because it's being.
Who cares?
I mean,
does
yeah,
it
who
affect
cares?
where the cinch, the strings you pull
Right.
to make it pull together?
I
Does
don't
it-
know the actual purpose of turning them inside out, though.
Is the seam on the outside?
Yes. If you get a trash bag, it's going to be on the outside.
I have a feeling this guy is just trying to get
I
people
think
to
so.
No.
turn trash
Like,
bags
this is
inside
an
out.
April Fool's prank, is what it sounds like.
Well, Joanna says it's real.
Derek has a life hack. Words to live by.
A friend with weed is a friend indeed.
Brilliant.
Nice.
One thing I did learn about the garbage bags after they quit picking up my recyclables is if you put your recyclables in a garbage bag, even if it's clear, they won't take it. They will in other cities, not El Paso.
Wait, what?
Your recycle bin, the blue one, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to use bags. You're supposed to empty the recyclables out of the bag.
Oh, okay. You're not supposed to put bags in.
Did you know that?
No, but it
I
explains
only
why they
found
don't
out-
take it.
I only found out after they quit picking up, but they didn't give any explanation. I eventually figured this out.
Leave a note.
Yeah, leave a note and tell people what they're doing wrong.
Although I love the trash guys.
The trash guys are great, but I just think the policy on recycling is all over the map in this town.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, we just learned last week that recycling isn't even real.
Wait a second. Hold on a second. Recycling isn't real?
That the majority of plastics are
Not recyclable.
No, not recyclable, yeah.
The companies that use plastic as part of their product or their packaging or whatever want you to believe that close to 100% of it gets recycled, but it doesn't.
It does
It's not
not.
even near that. And
It
the
does
reason they
not.
want you to think that is because if the pressure's not on you, the pressure's on them. Hey, start using more recyclable stuff and quit telling people recycle, when we know that over 90% of it goes right to a landfill anyway, or an incinerator. All right, here we go.
Kaplowitz. I'm a big, stupid jerk.
Sports.
You want to leave with that breaking news about the Jets?
Yeah, I
All right.
mean, it's big news.
Hit
The
it.
Jets have fired their head coach, Robert Saleh, gone. Thanks for nothing, Robert. What a mess. He really was. He was a disaster with the Jets, unfortunately.
Do you have a feeling that Aaron Rodgers had something to do with this?
I do think that once they kind of like maybe had a falling out, that was the end of that. So it would not surprise me one bit if ownership went to Aaron and said, "Look, we're looking to do this. Is this going to bother you?" And he probably said, "Nope, let him go." Yeah. Jeff Ulbrich is going to be their interim head coach, and he is the defensive coordinator of the Jets. So he will be running the show. Hey, listen, I know that there's bad blood, but I'm just telling you right now, with this season the way it is, I'd bring Bill Belichick on board if you can get him.
They just
I really
posted
would.
Bill Belichick's summer photos with his new girlfriend who's 24 years old. First of all, you. Second of all, I don't think Belichick wants to come back to football.
Yeah, he's having a really good time right now. He loves broadcasting.
Isn't there something kind of ick about that? Like a 70-something-year-old guy dating a 24-year-old? I mean, it's just kind of...
Well, wasn't that didn't Tony Randall like impregnate somebody that was like 50 years younger than him?
Tony Randall?
Yes.
The gay dude?
Tony, no. Well, he was on The Odd Couple, but he wasn't gay in real life. Tony Randall.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I feel like he had
that's an old reference.
when
Al
he was in
Pacino
his 70s.
Al Pacino just had a baby with
I'm sorry.
some young thing.
I figured you could relate to the Tony Randall story.
Seriously.
You know?
mean Tony Randall from Pillow Talk?
Wait, so would you be as weirded out if there was a 74-year-old woman dating a 22-year-old?
I just don't know what you would how you would relate to each other on anything other than like a grandfatherly granddaughter type of relationship. I don't know how that works.
Sometimes you just find, all right. Love knows no bounds.
By the way,
except in the legal sense.
Age ain't nothing but a number unless
under 18.
They indict you for it.
Yes. More on the dumpster fire that is the New York Jets. Saleh was in his fourth year with the Jets as coach. He was 20-36, meaning he won 20 games, lost 36.
Yeah, but it's the Jets. I mean,
I know, but still, it's just a bad look. They invested a lot. They expected more than a team that had won just 2 of their first 5 games. Let's put it that way. So, and he's also had like 6 quarterbacks in those 4 years. It's been a a bleep show.
I got a couple clips from Monday Night Football. I know you were out at
Border City
Ale House. Right. Looked like the Saints were keeping it within range, but here is the final call as the Chiefs' Xavier Worthy scored the game-sealing touchdown.
Look at this formation with Kelsey getting the snap. Worthy for the touchdown.
Yeah, and they went on to defeat the Saints 26-13 on Monday Night Football. That makes the Chiefs, 4-0, 5-0?
5-0.
5-0 now.
Yeah.
I got one more clip from last night. Troy Aikman responded to a shot of Taylor Swift celebrating a catch by Travis Kelce, and listen to what he called Taylor Swift.
There's Kelce. Makes a move, and he's out of bounds.
The missus likes it.
And they're not married.
Oh, I know.
What is it with ex-Cowboy quarterbacks?
I'm sure I'm in trouble for saying that.
I know. It's, do not. It happens.
Last season, Tony Romo, another former quarterback,
called her the missus.
Called her, or implied they were married or something. So Joe Buck calling out Troy Aikman.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Did you know it was his birthday yesterday? Travis Kelce's.
Oh, it was?
Yesterday, this weekend, yeah. And Taylor Swift wasn't there.
Oh. Right.
So, Travis Kelce has a brother, Jason, who just retired.
From the Eagles, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, he was on the pregame.
Right.
Talking to Scott Van Pelt.
Well, my son has his cell number. So this is kind of an interesting story.
Wait. Your son has Travis Kelce?
Jason
Kelce. Well, how does your son have
my son texts Jason every once in a while.
Because a friend of his got it, and then they randomly FaceTimed Jason during the UTEP game last week, and apparently he picked up the call, saw it was a bunch of kids, sighed, and then he just hung up the phone, and that was it. So when Joel got it, he's like, "Hey, Dad, what should I say to him?" I go, "Nothing. You're not going to text Jason Kelce." I'm like, he's like, "Why not?" I go, "Just because you have his number does not mean you're going to just start texting him and tell him what a fan you are."
Then you're like, "Now give it to me so I can ask him for stuff."
I have no idea.
How did the other kid get it?
I don't know. I do not know, but he has it. So
it sounds like he's used to it,
and
though.
It's legit
because it sounds like kids have probably FaceTimed him before.
I guess so. Because yes, he answered the call. They told him what a fan they were of him. He looked and then goes, and then just hangs up the phone, and that was it. So.
Serious question though, Steve. Yeah. Travis Kelce statistically has been a good player for the Chiefs for the
terrific player.
He had a slow start at the beginning.
I was
of the
just
season.
about to say, do you think the relationship has taken any sort of toll? That is he playing at the same level? I know that he just was in his first TV show as an actor, so it sounds like he's doing
good.
A lot of different things.
Maybe he'll be on a reboot of Webster, just like Alex Karras back when he was doing that in the 1980s.
Yeah,
that would be great.
He'll be George, and Taylor Swift will be Ma'am.
Well, so apparently he's
That's an old reference there.
Yeah, I don't even. He plays a former male stripper in the TV show Grotesqueries with Niecy Nash, but. Real male reviews have started asking him if he's interested, like Thunder from Down Under and Chippendales.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I do think, listen, Travis Kelce has so much personality off the field and charisma attached to his ability on the field. He will be fine for the rest of his career. It doesn't matter.
The skills will be maintained, you're saying?
He's probably already a Hall of Fame tight end when you look at what he's been able to do. In fact, Kansas City has two of the best tight ends of all time in Tony Gonzalez and Travis Kelce. So at this point in his career, it's all gravy. Like,
is Jason a Hall of Famer?
Ooh, yeah, there's a really good chance that Jason Kelce could get in as a Hall of Fame lineman. Sure. He was one of the best for the Eagles.
Right. So
that
both of the Kelce's could be in there.
Absolutely right. So, all right.
You want to talk? What do you want to talk about? Baseball? Or you want to give that a pass today?
Gosh, my phone is blowing up with this Robert Saleh story. Everybody's texting because they all know I'm the only Jet fan in El Paso. So whenever a story like this hits, hey, let's call the one guy that actually likes the Jets. We've got a lot of baseball playoffs going on today. So last night we had games galore, and actually we only had 2 games last night, but they were both in the American League, and a little bit of a surprise. Kansas City doubling up the Yankees 4-2. So that series is now tied at a game apiece, while the Tigers shut out the Guardians 3-0. That series is tied at a game apiece.
Oh, my prep says Cleveland Indians. Did they change to Guardians?
Yeah, they're the Guardians. Wait, your prep called them the Indians?
They sure did.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. You know what? That's like, what somebody accidentally calling the Commanders the Redskins. I mean, some things are going to continue to happen when you've had the same name forever, and then all of a sudden you try to change it.
It's like messing up their pronouns.
For
tonight,
Detroit, Kerry Carpenter hit a 3-run homer to give Detroit the 3-0 lead in the 9th inning. Let's listen in.
Runner goes, pitch is swung on, a high fly ball to right field. This one is gonna fly! A 3-run home run! Kerry Carpenter! The Tigers up 3-0 as Carpenter, an emphatic, towering fly ball home run.
All right.
Well, let me tell you this, okay? That was a huge home run, and he hit it off the closer. Do you know the guys that closes for the Guardians? His name is Emmanuel Clase. He gave up 5 earned runs all season long. Now, think about that. You play 6 months of baseball, 162 games. He gives up 5 earned runs. The whole season, he gave up 3 on that home run yesterday. So that was a big, big blow. And Tigers are right back in this game now, in this series now, tied at 1 apiece, just like Kansas City and the Yankees. Tonight, here's what we have. We got a doubleheader. Phils and Mets. Game 3 from Flushing, New York. That game will start at 3:08 our time. That series is tied at 1 apiece. And the Padres-Dodgers going back to San Diego. That series tied at 1 apiece. That game starts at 7:08. I believe we will be airing the Dodgers-Padres on 600 right after the UTEP football coaches show at 6 tonight with John Teicher and Scotty Walden. Then it's the UTEP Miners are going to be flying out to Nashville tomorrow, busing to Bowling Green, Kentucky, and getting ready for their game on Thursday when they host Western Kentucky on the road, Buzz.
Yeah,
a game that we'll have
who's
on
tagging along for the game at Bowling Green.
That's right. I will be on the trip with UTEP for that one. Listen, the last trip I was on, do you remember where it was last year? Or do you forget?
Ruston or something?
No. I went to Miami.
Oh, yeah.
I was there for Vice Night. Remember that? When they brought out the Lambos and they brought out the whole Miami Vice theme
nice.
and UTEP kicked the crap out of FIU on the road. I was at that
Did they
game.
go with the whole thing? Did they break out the cocaine and stuff too? Or
well, maybe
if it's Vice Night.
I know that's true. That would be pretty entertaining. But no,
every night is Vice Night for them.
Did we show up with like pink shirts?
Yeah, or a white linen suit.
That's good stuff. But that was last year. So you're hoping this time around Lightning will strike twice. They'll go to Bowling Green and try to win their first game of the season against Western Kentucky, who's had a great start to the year in Conference USA. Now, guys, tonight with baseball, plus NBA preseason, so much sports to talk about. It's like, what can I do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get on my Underdog Fantasy app, and I'm going to have a chance to make some picks tonight, which is going to be a lot of fun. It's all about fantasy contests, folks, and these entries are so easy to make, and you could have the opportunity to win. In fact, over 1 million fans across 33 states got into the game last year by making picks on Underdog, and ever since I got the app, It's so much fun. There's something to play every single day in all sports. So it doesn't have to just be football or baseball. Whatever sports you like, you can have the opportunity to play and have a chance to win with the Underdog Fantasy. Now, making picks on Underdog is straightforward and signing up is even easier. Here's what you do. You head over to Underdog's simple-to-use mobile app or UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with promo code KLAQ, and Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code KLAQ. To claim your new customer special of a free pick and your deposit offer, must be 18 plus and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Johanna, I don't want to get something started that I can't finish all in one go. So do I do my review of Joker 2, or do I wait until after the commercials?
Let's wait until after.
Wait until after the commercials.
I want to hear this.
By all means, stick around. Anybody who wants to hear it. I am not with the consensus on Joker 2. I can tell you that.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, its Rotten Tomato numbers are dismal.
I've heard.
But I'll be back. I'll have that on the way for you. More of the Buzz Adams Morning Show is coming up right after this.
While you're working away, we're working for you. Our
Bonitas.
Freedom and flexibility. That's what you want in a healthcare plan. And with Humana's Medicare Advantage PPO plans, you can see any doctor in the country who accepts Medicare, including specialists, with no referrals needed. Plus, you can go in and out of network for the same copay for doctor's visits. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
And every game on a big screen. Ojos Locos Sports Cantina, La Casa del Balón.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Enderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
All right, Nico is going to have news headlines.
Why were you looking this up?
Joanna,
can you see the thing?
I showed Joanna yesterday. Like, I've really gotten into a comedy troupe from the 1930s called the Ritz Brothers. So you had the Marx Brothers, then you had the Three Stooges. The Ritz Brothers aren't as famous as those brothers.
Why do they all look like Jeremy Allen White?
Because they're, I don't know.
They look like his clone parents.
So the Ritz Brothers were like the Three Stooges, but they didn't hit each other. What they did was like intricately choreographed musical numbers. And here, I just want to, since you're asking about it. Okay, here we go.
Had a cat. He lost his cat one day. And when he couldn't find his cat, you hear old Jenkins say, oh,
here we go.
Here, pussy, 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 here, pussy, 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 pussy.
Wait for it, Nico. Just wait for it.
Pussy, 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 here, pussy, 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 here, pussy, 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 pussy. Where is the gosh darn cat?
Isn't that great? I can only
fast forward to the end where they open the door.
I can only barely remember ever seeing the Ritz Brothers, but they were Three Stooges were on TV when I was a kid.
Right.
Reruns, of course.
Not these guys.
Marx Brothers, not as much.
They were singing here.
Yeah, right.
Oh, pussy, why you leave? Oh, pussy, Billy Green. Oh, pussy.
Wait, watch this.
Wait for it.
And it cats me out. Oh, pussy, on the aisle. Oh, pussy, in the rain and style.
Of course you like that, Joanna.
Take a little break for the sake of a cat.
Can you imagine how they had to train those cats?
They didn't train them. I think they had them in a box, and they just opened the box. So they opened the door.
They literally had to herd cats.
Like 100 cats.
That is a lot of cats.
Right.
Do you think they knew what they were saying?
Of course.
Pussy, 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 pussy.
Of course. What do you mean? Did they know what they were
I don't know if it
singing?
meant something different back then.
That's meow.
Old man Jenkins had a cat. He lost his cat one day. And when he
That's a good part.
find his cat, you'll hear old Jenkins say,
Here we go.
here, pussy, 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 here, pussy, 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 here, pussy, pussy.
I know what I'm going to sing to you from now on.
1938. This was 1938 when this came out.
That's
Not only did the Ritz
a good
brothers
song.
know, everybody involved in the production and probably most of the audience knew what was going on with the Here Pussy song. That guy's great. So that's Harry Ritz. He's kind of like the leader in the middle.
Yeah, look at his weird eye, Nico.
Yes.
What he does.
Old man Jenkins found his cat with great relief.
And they're like popping out of his head.
And again she ran away. So poor old Jenkins cried, oh, you pussy, pussy, pussy.
Look at the hand gestures.
Yeah, they were making hand gestures.
I love this song.
That hand gesture was not how you would call a cat. You know
No,
what I
it
mean?
was not.
It's how you might tickle a cat.
Look at now they're searching for the pussy inside that office.
We've all been there.
You're not going to find it in there.
They gotta open the door.
All right.
Hilarious.
It's a beautiful song. I love it.
The
It'll be
Ritz
in my
brothers.
head all day.
The Ritz brothers. Find them on YouTube. You should watch them.
Or Pornhub.
For once in my life, I have someone who needs me.
Sing hallelujah, come on, get happy. Get ready for the judgment day.
All right. So Joker 2, I went to go see, even though it got panned. For the most part, I didn't read any positive reviews. I think there's something like 11% on Rotten Tomatoes, which isn't great.
I wonder what the
user.
The user, right.
Yeah, probably real low. But a lot of people, you remember people coming out of Joker, the first Joker with Joaquin Phoenix, and complaining that that's not the kind of Batman movie they wanted?
It got some complaints. It was like, this isn't Batman.
Okay.
He wasn't even in there. This is some indie movie.
I'm not going to say everything about it was great. I could have done without the Tin Pan Alley. Like every other minute, they were singing a Cole Porter or Ivar Novello song from the 1920s and 30s. So I probably could. And they didn't even sing great. Not even Lady Gaga. She trained herself to sing bad. And it's like no joke, every 5 to 10 minutes, they would have another musical number. I thought it was very effective at what it was trying to do.
And what was that?
Piss off
the fans.
Piss off, yeah. I mean, the ending is one of the best endings of a movie I've ever seen.
Oh, Buzz told me the ending.
Yeah, I
And it
described the
sounds
ending and
real
how
good.
Yeah.
So Brian F., he has an audience review. He says 5 songs would have been enough. 15 was
too many.
horrifying.
Agreed.
I was praying for no more songs for the last 45 minutes. My prayers were not answered.
They were not. No, there's a lot of singing, most of it not good. But overall, it was hard to look away from. And afterwards, I found myself like asking questions, trying to determine what was fantasized by Arthur
Is it
Fleck.
one that you want to go back and rewatch?
No, but neither was the first one.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? It kind of put you through the ringer.
The first one was a bit kind of like heavy
It was very
to
heavy.
want to rewatch.
Well, if you really like the heaviness of the first one, it's got all these musical numbers,
Okay.
To lighten it up.
I guess so. So if you like the first one, there's a good chance you're not going to like this one. If you liked Heath Ledger's Joker, there's a good chance you're not going to like this one. If you're a Batman fan, again, good chance you're not going to like it. But the ending was just perfect, but I can't say anything else because it would be a spoiler. But Joanna didn't care, and I told her, and as I described it, what would you say?
Did it make you want to see it?
Yeah, I kind of want to go see it now.
Right.
So the Rotten Tomatoes score is 33%, and the user or audience score is 31%.
And 33 is the combined number? What are the critics' numbers?
33.
33%?
Yeah.
Well, I told you I was very much bucking the trend on this one. Going against the mainstream. I think you ought to go check it out. And what can I say without any spoilers? I think that, okay, my interpretation is most of what happened was all inside his head because the Joker, Arthur Fleck, doesn't. It's clear that this guy's not going to become a criminal mastermind.
That everybody wants him to be.
He's slow. He's weak. He's not dangerous except when he shoots somebody point blank with a gun. You know what I mean?
And they don't know it's coming.
There's nothing about him that makes him a supervillain. So clearly this guy wasn't doing all the stuff.
Are you reading something about it, Joanna?
Well, yesterday I read an article about the director talking about Arthur Fleck. But now that Buzz has told me the ending, I don't want to say what the article said.
Oh, okay.
Because that seems
well,
like
keep it to yourself.
A spoiler, but now it's kind of making sense, and now I want to see it.
Buzz, tell me if you agree with this user's review. There wasn't as much action as what's portrayed in the trailer. I went in thinking there was going to be a jailbreak or some action, but the only action was really in his head. I will say, though, they did a good job of humanizing Joker and helping the viewer sympathize with him. I just don't know if the musical style was the right way to go.
I mean, they really were paying homage to a lot of these songs that are almost 100 years old at this point. That's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. And Lady Gaga doesn't even sing as we know Lady Gaga can. There were a couple of numbers that were clearly fantasy numbers where she really belts it out.
Oh, interesting.
Also, I'm watching it and how bad Joaquin Phoenix is singing. I'm like, wait a minute, did he play Johnny Cash and sing and do the vocals himself?
Yeah, but the Arthur Fleck isn't a singer. That's why he's singing badly.
But in his fantasy, you'd think maybe he would sing better. Anyhow.
Old man Jenkins.
Yeah, pussy, pussy, pussy.
When he couldn't find his cat, you'll hear old Jenkins say, oh! Here, pussy, 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 here, pussy, 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 here, pussy, 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 here, pussy, pussy, pussy.
Look at that guy's eye.
Yeah.
Where is the gosh darn cat?
It's
All right,
very
let's take a break.
expressive.
We're going to come back. We've got news headlines about an hour late, but we're going to get to them anyway with Nico and Jimmy coming up.
Hey, it's Daniel Paulus. I'll be along starting at 3 with everything from AC/DC to Alice in Chains to
complete list available and directly through our station's mobile apps. See summer and save money with dining deals.
From the KLAQ studios in beautiful sunny El Paso, Texas, this is the Buzz Adams Morning Show.
Now we're jamming.
95.5 KLAQ El Paso, a Town Square media station.
We got a few more news stories to get to. Sometimes when we have a minute or two, I like to go over to KLAQ.com to read the latest Joanna post.
Oh, why, thank you.
Joanna does a lot of geography-oriented posts. Like West Texas Road, one of Texas' most haunted.
Yeah.
You want to save that as a spoiler?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the picture kind of gives it away, so.
Oh, yeah. No, I got it. Let's see. Most popular bread in Texas is sweet.
Pan dulce?
Sí.
No.
Apparently, all American bread is sweet because the bread that we eat, like Wonder Bread or Rainbow or whatever.
Oh, white bread. Yeah.
White
processed white bread is basically sugar.
In European countries, you'd have to label that as cake. So our bread is so full of sugar that in most of Europe, it would have to be labeled as cake by their standards.
I'm putting cake on my sandwich?
You're putting meat between your cake. Is what is more
I mean,
like.
carbohydrates are basically sugar, right? So anytime you eat bread, you're eating sugar.
All right, I'm going to give you guys. I'm going to do a thing that a trick that Nico does sometimes. I'm going to give you 3 articles that I've written in the last week, and you tell me which one you want me to expound upon.
Oh, okay.
Deep dive. What's really in Jack in the Box tacos?
Jack in the Box tacos.
The fact that your image is not a Jack in the Box taco,
erroneous, right there.
Right, because those are obviously not. Jack in the Box.
That was the one image I could get that looked close enough.
But you should have just gone to get some tacos and take a picture.
Just get a taco
I'm
and take a picture
too
of taco.
disgusted to even ask for them.
But
What?
you eat them,
You
don't
don't like
you?
them?
Okay, so one question is a deep dive into what's really in Jack in the Box tacos.
Okay.
Option 2, what's the Las Cruces shopping cart controversy all about?
Okay.
Or option 3, can you get a lap dance at an El Paso bikini bar?
Tacos, Jack in the Box tacos.
Joanna, which one do you
I
want to hear?
think we've already done the Jack in the Box tacos talk. You weren't here for it.
But he has more info about the mini tacos.
He went into deep detail about how the mini tacos differ from the original.
The mini tacos are some sort of chicken-based goop, and the regular size Jack in the Box taco are some kind of reconstituted beef goop.
I want to hear about this shopping cart thing.
Oh, you do?
All right, shopping cart then.
So the Las Cruces City Council voted an ordinance that makes it illegal to take a shopping cart from a business. And, that's stealing anyway. So I figured that would be covered under stealing. But some people in New Mexico are saying this is targeted to as a punishment for the homeless. For a homeless person, it's not just a shopping cart. It's your vehicle. It's your luggage conveyance. Sometimes it's your home. They passed the ordinance on the recommendation of the Las Cruces chief of police, Jeremy Story. The ordinance goes into effect on October the 16th. Story says people won't be arrested for having a shopping cart. They'll be issued a citation unless they have an active warrant for their arrest. To me, that seems like if you got a homeless person on the street, they probably got a loitering or something before. I think anybody you get with a shopping cart, the odds are fairly good that that person might have an active warrant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they are arrested, they'll be able to perform community service, which sounds great, except the community service they're talking about is counseling or treatment for substance. That's your community service. You got to go. So it makes a lot of assumptions about homeless people.
I mean,
either for substance abuse or mental health issues.
This shopping cart has been in my family for
generations.
Well, that's the thing. The ordinance doesn't make it illegal to have a shopping cart. It makes it illegal to take a shopping cart. So you could just say,
prove it.
Well, a lot of them have already own one.
I found this one on the side of the road. I didn't take it from a business. So it seems like it'd be pretty easy to get around.
Took it.
They put the word Walmart on it.
The shopping cart ordinance in Las Cruces also requires businesses to place a sign saying, hey, you're not allowed to take our shopping carts, which seems like double enforcement. I mean, stealing a shopping cart to me just seems like, well, you should get arrested for it's stealing, right?
Yeah.
It seems like this is a way you could get a homeless person that you see pushing a shopping cart, ask them a few questions, possibly arrest them, or get them into some kind of treatment or diversion program.
Which is good.
It is a good thing, but
why are you sound sour on this?
Well, it sounds like a lot of work for the businesses. I mean, they're the ones having their shopping carts stolen. They have to put out signs. They also have to file a plan with the city about how they're going to enforce the shopping cart thing.
Ugh, I don't get paid enough for this. Take the shopping cart.
The police are
shopping carts go for a pretty penny, miss. Sorry.
Really?
They're telling people not to confront a homeless person with a shopping cart at all. But it's it sounds like a lot of paperwork for the businesses. And what did the businesses do? They just had their shopping cart stolen. It sounds like a headache for them.
Wow. Shoppingcart.com. You can just buy some.
I kind of want one.
Have you ever gotten one of those little, it's not a shopping cart, but it's like a little miniature thing you can put your groceries in and take them inside from the car?
I want that.
Damn. They're a couple hundred, Joanna.
You can get them at Vista Market. All right, Nico, back to news. What else do we have in today's
headlines? We're still doing that?
I thought you had a few more.
I do have a few more.
Yep.
I didn't know we were going to go into the tacos and the shopping carts. All right. Well, Tesla has a big reveal coming up this week as it takes the wraps off of its robo-taxi on Thursday. The event is set to take place at Warner Brothers Discovery's movie studios in Burbank, California. CEO Elon Musk had previously set early August for the reveal, but that was pushed back as a result of what was called an important design change. This is going to be important. This will be I think, robo-taxi will be the Apple or iPod of the future. It's going to just blow up. And
self-driving cars, I mean, they don't even have to be taxis, just any kind of self-driving
Well, that's the point,
vehicle.
is you don't have to buy the self-driving car. You could just basically get an Uber, and you're not paying for the Uber's driver.
Well, the thing with self-driving cars is they say that the accident rate is going to be reduced to almost zero
when they're all on it. Yeah.
When they're all self-driving cars, because the real wild card is the human element. A self-driving car could still get in an accident because the other driver made an error, but they say, from what I've read, that once we're all self-driving cars, accidents will pretty much cease to exist.
Well, the family of Tupac Shakur has reportedly hired a high-profile attorney to investigate a possible connection between the rapper's murder and music mogul Sean Diddy Combs.
God, when it rains, it pours, right, Diddy?
But you're bringing up the death of Tupac?
Wait a minute.
Damn. Shakur was shot and killed in Las Vegas back in 1996. This year, the man accused of orchestrating the murder tried to implicate Diddy in the plan. He claims Diddy offered to pay for the shooting as part of his feud with Suge Knight, who was driving Shakur's car at the time of the murder.
So was it, hypothetically, the accusation, was Tupac even the target, or was Suge Knight the target?
That's a great question. Diddy was recently arrested and is facing multiple charges of sexual abuse, trafficking, and racketeering.
I got a little side note on that.
All right.
So there's an attorney named Tony Busby, and Tony Busby is representing 120 alleged Diddy victims.
Damn.
Busby, the attorney, claims he sent letters to a bunch of A-list celebrities who have at least some knowledge of a freak-off party or Diddy's, freak-off. He said he called them to resolve matters privately. He says some of these celebrities, people who we would all recognize, have already settled with his clients just to keep their names out of the press. It sounds kind of like a shakedown, though. If you get a call saying, hey, you either pay us a lot of money or we're going to implicate you in this.
Apparently, Leonardo DiCaprio was the first call Diddy made whenever he had a party.
Probably because Leo could bring all the Eastern European models with him.
Well, apparently he's in Italy. He's been in Italy since the Diddy news has taken off.
Just hanging out in Italy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you got a call, I'm an attorney representing these alleged victims, pay up.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? Shake them down.
That is called extortion.
Good. Fine. Get those. I wish they extort all the Epstein lists. Extort all of them. Let's get their names out there because what they were doing was wrong.
In other Diddy news, his key to Miami Beach is being rescinded.
That's the least of his worries.
Right. What? I don't get to keep the key to the city of Miami Beach? This is an outrage.
Do you want me to keep going with the news?
Yeah.
Okay.
I sure do.
Basketball superstar Caitlin Clark will be picking up another sport during the WNBA's offseason. Clark will play in an LPGA Pro-Am golf event next month.
Really?
The Annika, named after golf icon Annika Sorenstam, will take place November 13th at Pelican Golf Club in Bel Air, Florida.
Is Caitlin Clark a good golfer? Was she on the golf team? Cappy's here. Cappy, is Caitlin Clark got any business? Unless it's a Pro-Am.
Most athletes.
Is it a Pro-Am?
It's a Pro-Am.
Most athletes
she's probably
most
AM.
athletes are probably
Right.
decent at golf. I mean, I'm not saying she can shoot a scratch. She's a scratch golfer, but chances are.
You ever seen Charles Barkley play golf?
Yeah.
Ugliest thing you have ever seen in your life.
But he plays. He plays. Don't you wish you could have gone to golf with Michael Jordan and taken some of his money back in the days when he was gambling God knows how much?
I'm quitting golf.
What?
Yeah, he says he says.
What are you talking about?
Because I think he hasn't had some good Sundays because that's when he goes. I think he
Or
hasn't.
Saturday.
And I think he's had some bad Saturdays and Sundays, and he's like, well, if I'm not going to be good at this, I'm just going to quit it.
You know,
well, I'm
that
getting
is the
worse.
worst.
That's the thing. I got my handicap down to where it was pretty respectable.
It was almost par. You were almost par.
You know, it was quite a way. I mean, maybe depending on where I was playing.
You can't quit the game you've been playing most of your adult life.
I was thinking about it. It takes 4 hours to play around. It takes 45 minutes to drive over there, 45 minutes to drive back.
He's talking about all the time it takes him to play golf once a week. I'm going, what the hell else are you doing? You're doing nothing else.
If I devoted that 5.5 hours to go into the gym, I could go to the gym 5 days out of the week.
And you'll
and I'll feel better and I'll look better, and I'm obviously not getting any better at golf.
If you devoted 1 hour of your life to going to the gym, that would be an improvement. I don't think the golfing is the thing keeping you from doing that.
Plus, is there anything more gratifying in life than when you hit a perfect golf shot, you watch that thing, you admire it?
I don't remember.
Oh, come on.
I mean, it's been that long.
So because you've sucked at it lately, you're going to just give up?
Well, sucking is all relative. I mean, I'm still beating the guys I play with.
I'm still better than Brad and JT.
but like I'm not beating them by 20 or 25 strokes anymore, so I think I'm just done with it.
All right, just 2 more stories for you left.
Okay.
A town in Argentina is being driven crazy by thousands of parrots. The birds have invaded the town of Hilario Ascasubi and are being the worst neighbors.
Yeah.
The parents have been biting electrical cables, pooping.
Parrots.
Parrots.
Okay.
Biting electrical cables, pooping everywhere, and screeching constantly.
About crackers and how Polly wants one.
Biologists tell the town not to blame it on the birds. Humans have knocked down the forest where they live, so they had nowhere else to go. Yeah. At least the birds only hang out in the town. Excuse me.
They bang out in the town?
They bang out.
They need cats. They need to get a bunch of cats to this town in Argentina.
I follow.
Pussy.
He lost his cat one day.
Listen to this, Cappy.
And when he couldn't find his cat, you'd hear old Jenkins say, oh, here, pussy, pussy, pussy.
Look at that guy's eye.
How does he do that?
Where is the gosh darn cat?
Where is the gosh darn cat?
That was from 1938?
Yes.
Wow. That is great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, finally, Coldplay has dropped a deluxe version of their new album, Moon Music.
Okay, great. They're coming to El Paso.
That's why I'm doing this story.
News.
Full Moon Music features bonus tracks and 3 new original songs. The new edition includes previously unheard tracks, The Karate Kid, Angel Song, and A Wave. There are some live versions of some of the album songs, including Feel Like I'm Falling in Live, which has been recorded on their record-breaking Music of the Spheres global tour.
Falling in Live?
Yeah.
It's not a... You didn't misread that?
I didn't.
Okay.
I think it's a play. It's a live...
I can name... God, could I name 3 Coldplay songs if somebody had a gun to my head?
You're beautiful.
That's
And
James
it was
Blunt.
Yellow.
Yellow is probably the most famous song.
Scientist.
Oh, yeah.
And... No, they'd kill me. I can't come up with a third one.
Yes, you can.
Okay. No, honestly, I can't. I can't think of another Coldplay song.
Joanna?
Fix You.
Nah.
And it was
I'm at a
all
loss.
yellow.
And it was all yellow. That's
A Sky Full of Stars?
Oh, yeah.
Don't know that one.
Oh,
I don't listen to Kiss.
With your news, Nico.
All right. Thank you, Nico. Cappy, any update on that Robert Saleh story?
Just that Jeff Ulbrich, their defensive coordinator, will be the interim coach for the remainder of the season.
All right. And you're heading to Kentucky this week?
I am.
All right. For the Miners road game?
Yeah, I'll see I'll be at Western Kentucky in Bowling Green. Apparently that's the Corvette Museum is in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Okay. All right.
And then
something for you to see.
There's also
Maybe leave the Miner game at halftime. Go and check out the Corvette Museum.
That might not be bad. Yeah. Make sure I make the flight back, but that's the plan. Can I stick around for the final segment with you guys?
Of course you can.
Appreciate that.
Stay with us.
How about
Cap.
baseball
Yeah,
tonight?
please.
We got a doubleheader tonight.
We do. We actually have some baseball games going on. They're going to start later this afternoon with the Mets and Phillies, followed by the Padres and Dodgers. Those are both game 3.
Having the Royals and the Yankees playing reminds me of like the 70s.
Well, it should, because, the last time they played prior to this year, all your favorite Yankees and Royals were still in their prime. I mean,
Mr. October.
Yep, Reggie Jackson was patrolling the outfield, and you also had George
Hemorrhoids Brett
at
I don't know
third
if that was
base.
his nickname or not.
Why was he called Mr. October?
Because he always came through in the clutch in the playoffs, and the playoffs were in October.
Oh, okay.
He once hit 3 home runs against the Dodgers, and hence the nickname Mr. October. Well,
do you remember they had a candy bar? The Reggie bar. You remember the Reggie bar?
They still have the Reggie bar.
Get out of
You
here.
just got to go find it. It's around. When I was in New York,
It's probably
the
40
Reggie
years
bar.
old.
No, they've remade the Reggie bar, and it is still just as good now as it was when we were growing up as kids.
Don't forget, he tried to assassinate Queen Elizabeth.
Oh,
Reggie Jackson.
Do you get that reference?
Yeah,
in the
it's
least.
a Leslie Nielsen movie, a famous one.
Yeah, The Naked
It's
Gun.
called-
Naked Gun. Police Squad.
It was a great movie. Don't remember.
Little did they know that Nordberg was the actual killer.
What was the guys that sang the national anthem? And it's like, look,
Enrico Palazzo.
It's Enrico
Palazzo.
How dare you even question my knowledge of The Naked Gun? What?
Found out you never saw the original Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze, so
Well,
who
I think
has?
anything's possible. Everybody.
All right, that's on us.
So here's the best way to enjoy the baseball games, guys. You can make your underdog picks with the games and play the fantasy contest for the baseball playoffs. It is the perfect way to do it. In fact, you can win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on your favorite player's stats, like touchdowns, passing yards, hits, RBIs, runs, and so much more. In fact, the Underdog app is so much fun for me. I love it because every day I'm always looking at what I can play, whether it's preseason hoops, football, baseball, and so much more. Making picks on Underdog is straightforward, and signing up is even easier. Just head over to Underdog's simple-to-use mobile app or UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with promo code KLAQ, and Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code KLAQ to claim your new customer special of a free pick and your deposit offer. Must be 18 plus and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
I'm Daniel Paulus, and whether you're wrapping up your workday,
Fine. And don't forget irresistibly smooth and creamy custard. Get Bossed. Boss Tenders, Dogs, and Custard.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Enderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
Leveled up. All right, we got to wrap things up here. Joanna, how long do we have?
You can take it to the top of the hour.
Top of the hour? All right, great. That
Hey,
gives us a little more time then.
I have a crazy, weird announcement. Whataburger. We're all fans, right?
Love it.
Love it. Well, this Thursday, all customers can get a free breakfast on a bun with the purchase of a hot iced coffee. But there is a catch.
What's the cat?
Your name
gotta
has
get
to be
the-
Bob.
Bob.
Yeah. If your name is Bob, you can get a free breakfast on a bun, or a BOB.
No, what? How about Roberto?
That's funny. Or Robert, right?
Well, I mean, Bob's a nickname. I don't know how many people have Bob on their birth certificate. Probably some, but
I don't think they're going to ask for your
I
ID.
think they're going to take your word for it.
Yeah.
That's what
Are
it
you
sounds like.
sure your name is Bob?
I
It is.
show up. My name is Bob.
I just thought that was interesting. For anybody out there named Bob, Thursday.
All
for you.
right, Cappy, here's a sport we don't talk about as much as we should, but let's talk minor volleyball for a second.
Yeah, but minor volleyball tonight, Battle of I-10. Tomorrow, Battle of I-10. It's going to be UTEP and New Mexico State. In fact, UTEP just won the Offensive Player of the Week award with Emma Uskokovic, and the Defensive Player of the Week with Kaya Weaver. So they are getting it done. And
It's kind of a hot ticket in El Paso, isn't it?
It's the hottest ticket in town
And this
for
is
UTEP sports.
I-10 rivalry.
Huge.
In the volleyball world.
Yeah, and by the way, Mike Jordan is the head coach at New Mexico State, and Ben Wallace used to work for him when he was at New Mexico State as top assistant. So a lot of history with these two, and they have tons of respect for each other. But Memorial Gym, which they're calling Club Memorial, that's the new name for Memorial Gym. It's now known as Club Memorial. 6 o'clock tonight, tomorrow, Battle of I-10, UTEP and New Mexico State should be a good one.
That's that's a very historic gym. That's the gym that the Miners played in the '66 season.
That's very true.
Championship.
That is very true.
And I used to go down there and play pickup games.
Did
back
you really?
in the day. Oh yeah.
I didn't know that. When you first got here?
Yeah.
Were like guys like Johnny Smooth Melvin and Marlon Maxey?
No. The players wouldn't come over and play.
I thought they
Some
would.
of the football players would.
Oh, I see. I've heard stories about pickup games when Tim Hardaway would show up
I've
to Memorial.
played pickup games with some of the minor greats, like at the YMCA before, while they were still playing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that story either. You never talked about that. That's good.
What? Yes.
I was just going to bring up a app chat question for Steve.
Oh, good, because I was going to talk about a freak off that happened back years ago, but this will be
Puff
more.
Diddy?
Well, close, but no, this goes back way
Nico,
back.
you do your thing, and then
I don't know if I'm going to have time.
Steve's going to tell us about going to a P. Diddy freak off.
Joe in our app chat says, tell Buzz and Cappy Robert Salo wasn't the problem. It was the diva Aaron Rodgers and the bad offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett. He runs a predictable offense, and he was trash in Green Bay and in Denver.
Is this Joey we're talking about?
It might be.
So now Joey's one that messaged you. Is that his name? Joey? Look, I don't disagree. I'm not. Listen, I don't care. I don't
How
mind.
did you know who the call?
Because I think he said it was from Joey. I think he identified him by first name when he first come. Listen, I agree with Joey in the sense that I don't like Hackett. I think he's trash too. But Saleh just was lost. Like he didn't look like he just. Certain head coaches, like you have respect for them, and Saleh just seemed more like a cheerleader and
Do you
someone
think
that
Aaron Rodgers ever respected Robert Saleh?
Maybe when he first arrived and didn't know him real well, maybe then.
Okay.
But
I've read a few reports that say that Aaron Rodgers is not well liked in the Jets organization. I've seen some going so far as to call him like a toxic influence.
Well, I guess we'll find out, right? If the season goes
suddenly
south,
gets better.
Well, if the team gets better and they play well, then we obviously know maybe there is something to it. If the team tanks and they don't make the playoffs and Aaron Rodgers retires and just goes out on a sour note, then we know that there was a lot of toxicity to number 8.
All right, tell me your freak off story.
Okay, this goes back to when I first started at the radio station in the summer of '95.
You got to name names?
No. So some of us, you weren't part of this group.
I
but
was
others,
not.
Others on the morning show team back in this day, we went to a very popular downtown establishment, a club. And in doing so, we met the owner of the club and his wife. And they gave us some, like they were kind of showing us the behind the scenes from the club area. And the club was interesting. Like it had a lot of very
and they have go-go dancers and cages.
Prerogative stuff going on down in those days.
Prerogative?
Well, I mean, I'm sorry, what am I thinking of?
Provocative.
Provocative, thank you. Provocative stuff, yes. So they give us some glasses of wine and they asked us if we wanted to start hanging out with them, but then they left us for like 5 or 10 minutes, but without them being around. And when we were in
the husband and the wife owned the club.
Yes, and they left us in this room. Okay, and there was probably 4 or 5 of us at the time. Anyway, as we were walking around, we noticed that there was a picture of the owner framed holding his member. And I was like, that's the strangest thing we've ever seen. Very interesting. So we kind of got an idea of maybe what they wanted to do with us later that night. And
That's why they gave you the wine.
Yes, and we all kind of got creeped out.
Wait, but
and
they
just
didn't
said,
proposition you?
Well, it never got to that point. But they were, I think that was the original plan. And we all just kind of said, this doesn't seem right. So we decided to pass very politely, thanked them.
Did you finish your wine?
Thank you for your time.
And that's when Steve realized he likes swinging.
Wait, was it a swingers club? Because I remember hearing.
No, it wasn't a swingers club. It was just a club back in those days. Well, I didn't know. I was right out of college, and I was an intern, and I wasn't even getting paid yet to work at this radio station. I was so.
Steve was a spring chicken.
I was so green in those days. Look, it was the summer of '95. I was a couple of months out of college, and I just remembered.
Did you take a date?
I don't think so, but I don't know for sure. It's possible.
Yeah, but
it was
be
more
weird.
like a friend's night out.
It was like a friend's night out.
It would be weird if it was your coworkers and they're like, "Let's all swing." And you're like, with these guys.
Well,
I didn't know that then.
I can
like
tell
I know
you
now.
You told me who you're talking about, and this was a couple that were very out in the open swingers.
They were in the life.
They were in the lifestyle. They definitely had pineapples in their shopping carts, if you know what I mean.
But it could have been a freak off that night. It's very possible that had we stuck around, it could have been a total freak off.
Did you see any bottles of baby oil?
Like hundreds?
Was P. Diddy there?
How do you think P. Diddy got in that situation with how many bottles of baby oil did they say they found at his place?
100.
1,000 bottles.
And then the lawyers are like, "Oh, it's because he buys them at Costco." You know,
yeah, they don't sell you 100 bottles or 1,000.
Costco comes out and they're like, "We don't sell baby oil."
I meant,
they don't sell it at all.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you just used Amazon.
Yeah, I buy it from China in large shipping containers.
I think P. Diddy probably has people who do all that stuff for him, and like every time he was going to have a freak off, he's like, "Don't forget the baby oil." And
so
nobody checked to see. There's more and more baby oil.
So you think he's had like over 1,000 freak offs, and they all just come with baby oil as like their entry into the freak off.
You're telling me the worst thing his assistant could do is forget the baby oil?
Yeah.
Where is the baby oil? Where is the baby oil?
Whatever you do, don't forget more baby oil. Have a
Thank
great.
you for the stories, Steve.
Oh, you're welcome.
Have a great Tuesday, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow at 6 o'clock. We'll talk to you then. So long.
Show is done.
Are we done here?
We are done here.
I'd like to discuss this further, but I gotta go.
It's been real and it's been fun. And it's been real fun.
Goodbye, 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 goodbye.
The morning show will be back tomorrow at 6 a.m.